My God. Seriously? Good Lord. Here we go. That's better.
The views and opinions on this broadcast are those of wearecolerain.com and do not reflect the views of Colerain High School, the Northwest School District, or Colerain football. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to 8801 Cheviot Road, home of the Colerain Cardinals. It's playoff time in Ohio High School Athletic Association football action, and tonight, your Colerain Cardinals, with a 9-1 record, have earned the 3 seed in the Division I Region 4 playoffs and are at home once again hosting the Princeton Vikings, who come in at 6-4. This is Chris Amanitis along with Brian and Brandon Wyatt and Mike Rourke here at Colerain High School, the cage where it is cold, but it is absolutely 100% football weather. We are so happy and excited to be bringing you tonight's broadcast on wearecolerain.com, and also working with our Waycross community media partners to be recording the game to be played at a later time, starting tomorrow and over the course of the weekend into next week. You can see that playback schedule right online, and Brian's got the information, and he'll be sharing it with you later in the broadcast as well. So we are here, as I mentioned, at Colerain High School, where the 9-1 Colerain Cardinals come into tonight action looking to defeat the Princeton Vikings, who have earned a 6 seed and bring a very balanced offensive attack to the field tonight. Brian, Brandon, it is, we're not going to get a whole lot into the teams. We've played Princeton before. It's been a while since we've played a GMC team in the playoffs. I think Hamilton was the last GMC team we played, which we were victorious against. But this is going to be a really interesting game. A little different than last time in that we're going to see a different quarterback-running back combo running the offense versus what we saw back in Week 4.
Yeah, Chris, tonight we start what they call the second season. Wipe all the records out, wipe all the stats out. Nothing really, what happened in the past doesn't matter. It's one and you're done. But you're absolutely correct. We saw Princeton a couple weeks ago, and it was a battle. But they've made a change in quarterback. They're looking more for an aerial assault here on the Colerain Cardinals. So it'll be a big test for this defense that has stood so strong to take us this far into the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, the young man Dorian Durham, someone in Sharonville, Lincoln Heights area, have been calling for him to be the quarterback all year. He replaces Jaden Horton as the starting quarterback for the Princeton Vikings, and what he does not have in the mobility that Horton does, he does have in the arm strength and maybe a little bit more poise there as a pocket passer. The other person we didn't see in Week 1 was a running back. It's going to be a lot different than what we saw last time these two met. James Price was the main running back. He a little scat back, 5'7", 160 pounds. This week, they're starting running back, and he's battled injuries and conditioning issues because of those injuries all year, but it'll be the big running back, the junior, Thomas Boyd, who comes in at 6'1", 240, so a much different runner and passer Cardinals defense will have to deal with tonight.
Yeah, the Princeton Vikings, we know about their offensive line. Lots of beef up front, led by Paris Johnson, the Ohio State commit. But yeah, if they're smart, they get that offensive line run straight ahead with a huge running back. I mean, they're going to be able to mix it up. It's going to be a real challenge. You know, do you go power game and mix in the big pass every now and then? And how about, they really challenged Colerain's offense last time. How much has this Colerain offense matured since the last time we played? It's, we expect kind of a low-scoring game, but tonight it's winter. We don't have any wind with her, but who's going to handle the cold?
Yeah, that's a big part. That's absolutely a big key to the game. Several other things which we'll get to, but let's get a couple of housekeeping items out of the way. Obviously, this is a live broadcast on wearecolerain.com, so a couple of things as a reminder to everyone. You can reach us here in the booth at radio@wearecolerain.com. Of course, we'd love to hear from you in the chat room as well. If you're a Colerain alum, or even if you're a Princeton alum and you're tuning in tonight, we would love to hear from you in the chat room. Let us know where you're listening from. We'll give you a shout out on the air. Also, you're going to see the scoreboard tonight. And why is that? You're going to see the scoreboard because it's the playoffs. And in the playoffs, we are not permitted to show you live football action throughout the course of the game. So again, thanks to our Waycross team, who are going to give us a great shot of the scoreboard. But during halftime and pregame, you may see the field a little bit, maybe the cheerleaders, the band, but please be aware when we get to the actual game itself, we are not allowed, because of Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, to show you the game itself. So we'll do our best as we do almost every week to describe it. And
we can't show it live, Chris, but we're going to put it up on our Facebook page and on Twitter and all that. This will be on tape delay.
Yes, it is being on tape delay.
You'll be able to see the video of this game, and we'll post it up on Spectrum and Cincinnati Bell via Optics. I think the first broadcast is Saturday at 8 o'clock. Then it'll be again on Monday at 5, Wednesday at 9, and it'll be available really on Waycross at any time. Sometimes they usually get it up by midnight, but so you can go online and watch it too. And we'll put all that information on Twitter and our Facebook page to let everybody know it's out there.
Already posted.
All right.
So we've got it up there.
And I'll tweet it as soon as they put it to their YouTube channel. It'll be tweeted out for everyone.
Yep, absolutely, no question about it. So let's take it. Let's real quickly, because we're going to take a break here, just a couple of minutes again, as we always do with Waycross. We'll reintroduce the broadcast for the Waycross broadcast. But let's take just a real quick minute and let's kind of go through the 8 teams that have earned their way into the Division I playoffs here in Region 4. Of course, we've got this game right here. This is the 3-6 matchup. Colerain hosting the Princeton Vikings. On the other side of our bracket, the 2-7 matchup. Fairfield is at home tonight, and they are hosting the Hamilton Big Blue. On the complete other side of the bracket, the 1-8 matchup. The St. Xavier Bombers took home the number 1 seed, and they are hosting another GMC opponent that we played, the Mason Comets, who earned their way in a hotly contested 8-seed battle all the way down into Week 10 between Mason and Sycamore and Lakota East. There were all kinds of things that could have gone right for all those teams, but
West Claremont was on the verge of sneaking themselves in as well with their upset of Kings.
So. Yep, so it was really crazy there last week in Week 10, but Mason comes out with the 8th seed, and they take their 5-5 record and kind of rejuvenated offense a little bit to St. X and see if maybe they can put a scare in the Bombers a little bit. And then, of course, the other game is one that is really, it's quite an interesting matchup. So Elder has the 4 seed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Elder with the 4 seed, and they're going to be hosting the 5 seed, which are the Lakota West Firebirds, coached by Tom Bolden. I'm pretty sure that it's Tommy's first trip back to the pit since our game there in 2009, that Sunday game on ESPN. So congratulations to him in his first year at Lakota West, getting the Firebirds back into the playoffs for the first time since 2013. So what does that mean from a bracket standpoint? The winner of this game, this Colerain Princeton game, will play next week at a neutral site against the winner of the 2-7 game, which we previously said is Hamilton and Fairfield. So if the seeds hold true, we could see a rematch next week with the Fairfield Indians. But one game at a time, we need to take care of a very dangerous Princeton Vikings team.
You know, and it's nice to know all that, not to burst your bubble a little bit there, but all that information does not mean a thing unless you win tonight.
Absolutely.
It's one and done. You know, we can look down the road, okay, we're going to have a GMC GCL matchup. We're going to have a rematch with Fairfield. You know what? This Princeton team has individually some of the best talent we've seen all over the state. Now, whether that talent comes together to bring them a victory or not, but they are a dangerous team. We saw that. I mean, it was a very close game last time we played, but as we said, this tournament is the second season. It's one and done. So if you don't take care of your job tonight, you're not eating tomorrow.
Now, we did talk about the different weapons we'll see on offense for the Princeton Vikings. We'll see a little bit different, but for other reasons on defense, this is a secondary for Princeton that's kind of been hit with the injury bug, so they're missing 3 of their regular 4 starters in the secondary. Your former quarterback, Jaden Horton, is actually now filling in at safety for the Vikings, so it'll be interesting dynamic because for the Colerain Cardinals, there's been a lot of times when they just haven't had the big play because they don't have that game breaker that can break that tackle in the second level. So if you're going against some backups, some guys not used to that speed and that power, it might be a chance for the Cardinals to break some big plays tonight.
Well, you know, Colerain's kind of the walking wounded right now, too. We talk about the loss of Michael Best at linebacker. So hang on, we're going to restart for a Waycross broadcast.
welcome to 8801 Cheviot Road, home of the Colerain Cardinals. We've got Ohio High School Athletic Association Division I, Region 4 playoff action for you tonight. It's the second season here at Colerain High School, where your 9-1 Colerain Cardinals welcome the 6-4 Princeton Vikings in the first round of the Division I playoffs here at Colerain High School. This is Chris Simonitis along with Brian and Brandon Wyatt, Mike Rourke, and the entire Waycross community team, as long as the We Are Colerain team, bringing you tonight's action. So excited to be bringing you a game that is going to be between two, really the titans of the GMC. If you look at the history of this conference, which goes back the better part of 60 years, it really is all about Colerain and Princeton. And special tonight, especially for these Colerain Cardinals, because with their win last week over Fairfield, they secured their 20th consecutive GMC victory. I'm sorry, Brian. And you didn't say it in the opening.
That was the one stat that I had in my head. But go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead and tell our listeners how many consecutive wins do they have?
144-1 are their record
since the beginning of the 2000 season. The Colerain Cardinals have dominated this
Chris,
conference.
finish your thought on that. It's yours.
Oh, great. Way to ruin the stat, guys. Just keep interrupting each other trying to finish statements.
The Colerain Cardinals, with their 20th consecutive GMC crown this year, breaks the previous record held by the Princeton Vikings from 1967 to 1985, which before really this Colerain dynasty stepped up 20 years ago, kind of really beginning, of course, with Coach Kerry Combs. That record seemed really, quite frankly, untouchable. I mean, to win 19 consecutive years in a row for one program, for a game like football that can, with public schools, it seems like it could go back and forth any given year, but this Colerain program has proven, at least as far as I'm concerned, to be the most dominant sports program of any school in the GMC, quite frankly, in the history of the conference.
There's a little delay in the confusion of the timing of the teams entering the field. The Colerain Cardinals are in their black uniforms tonight with the white pants. The Princeton Vikings will be in all white tonight. They normally take the field at this point, but they're waiting for some reason on something.
I'm looking at the visitor side. The Princeton band is now walking up, so I'm guessing the football team got stuck in the tunnel behind the Princeton band who just showed up.
Colerain Cardinals. Led on the field by Captain Deshaun Pace.
Again, the Colerain Cardinals this year finishing the regular season 9-1, with their only loss coming in week 2 to the St. Xavier Bombers, who are the number 1 seed in the Region 4 playoffs. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in the program, but also, want to point out that for those of you listening and watching live on wearecolerain.com, thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We see there's all kinds of noise in the chat room. Thank you so much. We'll get to that. Brandon will get to that, or I'll get to that, as well as you can reach us in the booth at radio@wearecolerain.com. We'd love to hear from you. As a reminder, the Colerain Cardinals won the toss, and they elected to defer. So they will be kicking off to Princeton once the Vikings make their way down onto the field. So a little bit of gamesmanship here by the Vikings.
Well, I don't think it was. The band is still coming out.
It's not. It's a little bit of an issue with the playoff game. The timing's a little off. The countdown is not till 7 o'clock on the scoreboard.
Hey, how about this? Look at the great shot here from our volunteers at Waycross.
Yeah,
Princeton was waiting at the top till the band cleared.
Yeah, and that's a big band. So obviously, just kind of a little tongue in cheek there with the gamesmanship.
Well, I'm sure there's a little gamesmanship by Cardinals. You see, they weren't huddled around like trying to intimidate the Vikings. They're kind of talking to the refs, trying to get a little chummy with the refs out there. But
why does the band show up this late?
I don't know. I have no idea, but here come the Vikings onto the field.
Oh, I hope the weird start doesn't end up to a weird night. It's just it's playoff football. Anything can happen. One and done. That's
what the second season is all about. Interesting stat for the Cardinals, if I may, about first round success.
Yes.
Anybody else got that?
They've lost one time in the first round.
Only by forfeit. The Colerain Cardinals on the field of play are undefeated in the first round of the playoffs. They are 20-0 in their history, which is the longest streak across any division in the entire state of Ohio. There's a little bit of gamesmanship right there at midfield.
Well, you know what was interesting? It looked like Princeton's team wanted to plant the flag on the Colerain Cardinal, but the referees kind of was shooed them away. And
if we know anything about this Princeton Vikings coaching staff, is they do a lot of talking on Twitter, and you got to know the referees knew beforehand that.
And there were a couple Princeton players approaching across the field.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. So, we're hoping for a nice, clean game. It was a hard-hitting game both last time these two teams played.
That was number 24, Jaheim Thomas, the University of Cincinnati recruit, drawn with Deshaun Pace, his future teammate at the University of Cincinnati.
See, a good talking back and forth is fine. Keep it clean.
And another little quirk into that, Jalen Thomas was a Princeton star linebacker for the Cardinals. He was a Princeton Viking for his first 2 years in high school, transferred over his junior year here to be a Colerain Cardinal.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
You did not know that? Yeah,
I didn't. Look at that.
Remember, it was a big deal when we played them last year, and Ivan was out for a play at outside linebacker, and he had a defensive touchdown. It was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of playing time, but when he got in there, he made some big plays last year, and as a full-time starter.
He was an athlete learning to play football, and I think he's really been maximized here in the Colerain system.
Yep. So as we go live here on wearecolerain.com, we switch over directly to the scoreboard, so we'll be describing our action. And we are getting ready to get underway. Cameron Ott gets his foot underneath it, and it's a high pooch kick, as we've seen many, many times. Caught right, it's inside the 25-yard line. And the Colerain defense is there, makes the tackle out of bounds right at the 30-yard line, so that one executed very well.
Just as they drew it up, he popped it up, almost like a punt, giving the defense a lot of time to come down, and they pin him down to that corner, and they keep him there, and he's going to take it just outside almost directly on the 30-yard line.
So it'll be first down for the Princeton Vikings at their own 30-yard line. Again, mentioned earlier on the We Are Colerain opening, we'll mention it here for Waycross. This is going to be a different quarterback and running back combo versus what the Cardinals saw earlier in the season.
But it's that same big offensive line.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. They got some hosses up there, led by, of course, the Ohio State commit, number 77, Paris Johnson, who really is he's a man among boys. He's an absolute giant. All right, so pitches back to number 5, Dorian. He looks and spins the wrong way to try and hand it off. He's going to try and pick up a few yards, and he's going to get maybe 2 on that first down run. So a little bit of confusion there for Princeton on their first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, forward progress is going to give him about 3.
Yeah, he turned to the right there to give it to the running back, but the running back went left, and he kind of makes something out of nothing. Brandon's right. He's going to pick up just under 3 yards.
I will say, though, it kind of looked like that kind of miscue in the backfield kind of worked to their advantage. Colerain kind of pinched down kind of where the play was supposed to go, because that's where the linemen were blocking towards. That's where everyone else was going, so the quarterback assigns a little extra space on the outside.
So number 5, Dorian Durham, is in at quarterback. 6'1", 170-pound senior. Takes a snap, takes the handoff, throws back, looks to pass, got some time, throws it deep. It is up in the air, and it is going to be picked off. Deshaun Pace, waiting for that thing to come down for an eternity. He takes it back into Princeton territory. He's got blockers, and he's going to get hit hard. Stays on his feet, so gets pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25-yard line. And that's the first turnover of the game, and a huge one as the Colerain Cardinals defense sets the offense up one more time on a short field.
And we're going to get another look at it on the replay. I don't know if it got hit or tipped, or it just came out of it. Just comes out of his hands, just fluttering. I don't know if it slipped or what. The ball floats, and it is an easy interception for Deshaun Pace.
Yeah, it's a lot. No wind here tonight. He didn't throw it into wind. Didn't see if he's got a glove on or if the cold affected it. But you're absolutely. As soon as it left its hand, it was just a wounded duck.
It was already a one-on-one kind of jump ball kind of play down just kind of a go route, and it was severely underthrown. And Pace doesn't need to recover. He's already right there.
So back to answer now. Shannon Murray in motion. Hamza Abdul Wahid in at fullback. 2 receivers split to the top, to the left-hand side of the junior, Freddie Johnson, who's under center, leading this offense. There's the handoff to Hamza Abdul Wahid, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he's going to pick up 3 yards on that first down.
And we talk about the big recruit, the offensive lineman, Paris Johnson. We're going to see another one here on the other side. He's the guy who made that tackle, Darian Henry. He's also bound for the Ohio State University. And we'll also see the other the number 4 rated recruit in Ohio, Jaheim Thomas, on the outside linebacker.
Kind of a different look from the Colerain Cardinals. The I formation. I haven't seen Murray and Hamza in the backfield at the same time, but Murray takes the ball to the outside. He's got a little bit of a decrease.
He's going to take it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Picked up enough for a Cardinal first down.
And that's if you're the Cardinals, if they want, you get the defensive line to commit. And that's exactly what they do. Go fullback. Freddie Johnson, as soon as he gets out of the mesh, makes the pitch. Murray's got the outside, and that's not going to get seen really except for the kind of maybe a replay looking for it. Isaiah Myers does a good job. He does what that offensive wide guard is supposed to do. He lets the defender go and blocks him, lets the running back go underneath him.
Freddie Johnson under center, takes the ball, takes the hands off the Hamza one more time, cuts it inside, makes two guys miss. Did you see that move by Freddie Johnson?
I didn't, because I was watching Hamza go to the end zone. All of a sudden, Freddie's not tackled, but then not tackled, jukes a man out of his feet and gets it down to the 4-yard line.
Shades of Tyler Williams right there, the Colerain all-time leading rusher, is now the offense coordinator here. And as I said, made a man miss in a phone book. There was a lot of guys around him.
Phone booth.
Or a phone book.
Yep, so here we go, second down and short.
They can't pick up a first down.
There's the handoff to Hamza Abdul-Wahid, and he's going to pull forward. I don't think he's in yet. They're going to mark him just short, but he did, I think, get enough for the first down.
It's going to be close. He needed to get to the 1-yard line for the first down.
Let's see where they mark it.
Yep, about 1.5 yards.
So third down and 1, but they're close enough that if they can get a hole, they're going to head right into the end zone. Cardinals are knocking on the door, trying to put the first points of the game on the board. Two receivers out to the right in the I formation. Hamza Abdul-Wahid and Jalen Thomas dotting that I. Freddie Johnson takes it, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, tries to cut it back inside, and that is well defended by the Princeton Vikings. Not sure if he's going to get enough. I think he's going to be short.
Well, they're going to have to mark it. It's forward progress. They push him back.
And they're going to put the tank formation.
This is what I thought they would do this on third down.
I thought so too, honestly.
Well, honestly, I don't know why they even ran the option on the play. I thought the way that Princeton Viking offense defensive line started set up, I thought they were just going to go quarterback sneak.
Now, Brandon, you played center here. Did they have can he audibilize? I know he can change the direction of the play call,
he can.
But can he call himself to a sneak?
Well, no one would know it but the center, because the quarterback sneak audible or play call is just a little move of the hands up.
So this is fourth down, and it looks like still nobody over the center.
Well, no, because you've got Deshaun Pace in at Wildcat. We saw this a lot last week.
And they go hard count, and they're going to draw them offside, half the distance to the goal. Let's see if they did it. See if none of the Colerain players had moved.
Well, that's a big deal right there.
We're going to wait for the official call. It is offsides on Princeton.
Now, here's the thing. Is half the distance to the goal enough for the first down?
They're putting the chains down.
And they do put it down and mark it a first down.
So
just because they got it offside didn't necessarily mean it was a first down, but the half the distance does give them the yard.
Half the distance, they needed 18 inches. They got 9.
You got that flip. They needed 9 inches. They got 18.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
18 inches for the touchdown.
That's the first time he's confused those measurements. So here we go. First down and goal. Freddie Johnson back under center. Takes the ball, hands it off, up the middle, and
he's in
there.
Abdul-Wahid!
Touchdown, Cardinals! Hamza Abdul-Wahid is in for 6.
Colerain starts first drive on defense. The big interception gives them the short field, and Colerain drives the ball down for the first score of the game. Hamza Abdul-Wahid. It's 1/2 of a yard for the touchdown.
And what do they do on that play? They go right at the big Ohio State recruit and said, guess what? There's 2 of us. There's only 1 of you. Make a pick. Henry picks Freddie Johnson. Hamza gets the touchdown. Sandusky with the snap. Prather with the bobble on the hold gets it down. Odds extra point is good. And with 7:45 to play here in the first quarter, it's your Colerain Cardinals 7. The Princeton Vikings.
I tell you, Prather has been a godsend a couple different times this year. The snaps have not been good every time. And again, right here, it looks like a low snap. He does a great job. Your backup quarterback gets the ball down.
Can't talk about how important it is to get up on top of this Princeton Vikings team first. I mean, they came out, they only had 2 plays in their first series, but they have proven that they're going to throw the ball. Even in these cold temperatures, they're going to throw the ball. And Colerain, at least in the GMC, I'll just say not great in defense against the pass. However,
Colerain's defense, the way they set it up, Chris, and we've said this for years, that the 50 slant puts your cornerbacks on an island. They're challenged one-on-one. And you know what? You go up for a 50-50 ball, you got a half a chance of getting it.
Couple quick updates to other scores. Mason drives the length of the field against St. X, but throws the interception in the end zone on their opening drive. Hamilton scores in their opening drive. PAT blocked. They lead Fairfield 6-0 early.
So Colerain is going to get ready to kick off here, and we've got a big announcement we want to share with all of our live audience. If you're not following us along on Twitter,
I think we have to wait till halftime.
No, it's already been announced, and we'll get to it here at the next stoppage. No great rush. Cameron Ott's got the ball lined up at the 40. Once again, he gets his foot underneath it, and once again, it's a perfect little pooch all the way back to the 20-yard line. Here comes the Colerain defense. 21's got it for Princeton, and he takes it to the complete opposite side of the field, and he's going to get major gain on this. Takes it all the way out close to the 50-yard line. So what looked like a great pooch ended up turning into a huge return for the Princeton Vikings.
We saw that a couple weeks ago, and as I said, you do the same thing over and over again. They can kind of set up for it. They do that pooch to the right every time, and it's effective. But we've seen if you can hold your blocks and reverse the fields, if you got guys with athletic ability like these Princeton Vikings do, you can turn it into a big gain if you get all the way around to the right side.
The Vikings will be just short of midfield.
So first down and 10 for the Vikings, trailing 7-0 to Colerain here very early in this Division I Region 4 Round 1 matchup. There's a snap back, handoff up the middle to the big guy, number 7, who's got it. He's going to get, looks like 3 yards on the play. That is Thomas Boyd, the 6'1", 230-pound junior for the Princeton Vikings.
Yeah, the Cardinals kind of had him wrapped up in the backfield, but he gets right off of Xander Kindle in the backfield, struggles, picks up more yardage. What should have been about a 2-yard loss turns into a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, very thickly built. The yards after contact, you're going to have to hit that guy low to bring him down.
Second down and 8 at the Colerain 49-yard line. High snap back. Handoff once again to Boyd. He's got it. He goes untouched for at least 15 yards, still on his feet. Gets pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets all the way down to the Colerain. We'll see where they mark it.
31-yard line.
31-yard line. So huge run for Thomas Boyd on a great, what would you call that?
That's just a draw.
Yeah.
It pretty much is about the same play he read, but this time the Princeton Vikings block it.
Officially marked at the 30-yard line.
So big play for the Princeton Vikings on offense to take it down to the Colerain 30. First down and 10, trailing 7-0 to the Cardinals here early in the first quarter.
So Princeton Vikings trying to answer back after this early Colerain score.
Durham and Boyd right next to each other in the back. Takes the ball, hands it off once again to him. And this time he jukes and moves it right out of the way of Dante Corleone. And that guy he can move for 230 pounds. Dante Corleone seemed to kind of maybe overcommit there and missed him in the backfield.
Well, he was there, but, he's just out of his arm's reach. He gets penetration, but, that's what you want to do. You let those guys on the weak side kind of get in, trap and run underneath, and Corleone got penetration, but that made the run that much more effective for the Princeton Vikings.
And we saw in the first matchup between the games, Princeton, the majority of their offense was following Paris Johnson, whether it was right behind him or following him as he pulled. So far in this game, that's back-to-back runs away from Paris Johnson.
So that was a 12-yard gain on first and 10, so it's another first down and 10, this time at the Colerain 18-yard line, and there are people moving all over the place.
Yeah, this time they go hard count, change it up a bit, and get Colerain. So they'll be all sides on Colerain, give them 5 yards.
So from first and 10 on the 18 to first and 5 at the 13. It is officially 33 degrees on the scoreboard here at Colerain High School in Cincinnati, Ohio.
And this is exactly where the Colerain defense wants the opposing offense. We saw last week Fairfield had red zone to go to the goal line, and was just, I think, 1 for 5, 1 for 6 on the afternoon.
So 3 wide receivers split wide to the top of the field. There's a handoff once again to Boyd. He takes it, cuts up the middle, and he's going to go untouched into the end zone for 6 points for the Princeton Vikings. That was a clinic by the Princeton Vikings.
And it was the same play. It's the same play. They ran it 3 or 4 times in that series. They found something that Colerain is doing, and they've exploited it. I mean, the big man found a big hole on that right side 3 different times on that drive. Goes out there, and there's just nobody there.
I mean, he went in untouched. Yep. 13 yards untouched into the end zone.
Well blocked up front. The ever-important extra point pending.
So that'll be something the Colerain defense will work on to figure it out. How many times, guys, have we played a game where our opponent will score on the first series and they may not score again the rest of the game? Snap is back, hold is down, kick
is just through. So with 6:40 play in the first quarter, less than 2 minutes after the Cardinals score, the Vikings put 7 on the board. It's 7-7.
Take a minute here. We talked about a big announcement. Want to go ahead and announce that now. The Colerain Boosters are very excited to announce that the Colerain Stag is returning in 2020 on January 9th, 2020 at the Kolping Center. The 24th annual Booster Stag will have a very, very special guest featuring Hall of Famer Marty Brenneman returning.
Well, he's got nothing else to do.
I'm sure he has plenty to do.
Marty Brenneman is in high demand, obviously, a Hall of Famer and a local kind of icon here in the Cincinnati area. Colerain boosters, very excited to announce.
Yeah, very honored to have him.
Absolutely, very honored and pleased to have Marty for the 24th annual Booster Stag, which, clear your calendars now, will be held on January 9th, 2020 at the Kolping Center. Of course, information and ticket availability will come out as we get closer to the event. You can find that right on wearecolerain.com.
Yeah, and the Booster Stag is available to anyone that wants to attend. Dinner, drinks, it's an all-night affair with Marty Brenneman.
Now look on Waycross to the blocking point, and then Brandon Sinclair nearly got it on that jump.
So here we go. Ball lined up on the 40, and the kickoff to the Colerain Cardinals. It is a low-line drive kick, and it is taken at the 15-yard line. Didn't see who got it. Following a couple of blockers, trying to get around the side. Looks like Willis, the sophomore's got it.
And a very late hit.
Yep.
There's 3 flags, 4 flags.
Had coverage. That was, I believe, 24 again.
Yep,
Jaheim Thomas will get another personal foul.
And we've already got jawing on the sideline between the Vikings and Cardinals.
And Willis was clearly out of bounds.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, he was outside the white of the coach's box into the red of where the players stand. So a good return becomes a better return. So there would be a 15 yards added onto that.
So the ball was, I think he was taken out of bounds. Are they going
That's
to
a
mark it at the 34?
15-yard penalty.
Yep, so they'll take it up to the Colerain 49-yard line. So they're going to start exactly where the Vikings started on their last series.
Personal foul against the Vikings. You get on a look here on the Waycross replay, and a good job by Kenny Willis, and he knows what he's got. He's going to get the sideline, and he knows he's out of space, and he just kind of gives himself up, and he takes 1, 2, 3 steps.
Helmet to helmet too. That's not an ejectable offense at the high school level.
I formation for the Cardinals.
Freddie Johnson back under center again. 2 wide receivers split to the left. Freddie Johnson takes it, fakes the handoff, keeps himself, pitches it deep to Jalen Thomas, who's got it, and he's pursued in the backfield. He's going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Again, this is the same kind of speed on defense that we saw last week from Fairfield. They've got talent on that side of the ball, no doubt about it.
But when you run the option, you're happy with 4 yards of carries, just under that.
Officially be 3 on the, nope, even less than that. I guess it,
yeah.
2 yards.
So they must have called him out at the 31, not the 34.
So 2nd down and 8. Against I formation now.
I'll tell you, these defensive backs are way off. A quick little hitch out there. That's what I wanted.
That's where it is right there. Good call.
That's what I wanted.
Sean Pace. He's going to stiff arm one man, stay on his feet, take out past the 40-yard line,
genius.
and pick up another Cardinal first down. Why aren't you
It was also very obvious.
Oh, it was beyond obvious.
They kind of took an extra step backwards right before.
Well, he sets up there, and you know if he's out there, they're gearing an offense to him. They want to get him to play. But the you got one-on-one, and the slot corner that was covering him was 12 yards off the ball. So even if you get him, they're going to stop him for a short loss. But
first down and 10 for the Cardinals. Into Viking territory at the 41-yard line. There's a handoff to Hamza Abdul-Wahid, and he gets hit in the backfield, wrapped up initially by Darian Henry, number 24. But as Hamza often does, he did not go down, but he's still, I think, going to pick up a yard on the play.
Yeah, this is an impressive defensive line also. We on both sides for Princeton, the offensive and defensive line. I mean, you look right in the middle of the nose tackle. Harding is 6'2", 300. You've got Younger, who's 6 foot 360, and then you got the big 6'5", 260 UC commit. That's an impressive defensive line at any level.
Cardinals got to get this play in quicker. They're under 10 seconds, and I think they're going to have to take a timeout.
Yep, they're going to call a timeout here because that's the right thing to do when you're tied at 7, 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. They want to make sure they get the right play in as they look staring down the barrel, 2nd down and 9.
Another couple quick score updates. St. X converts a interception into 7 points of their own. They lead Mason 7-0. Flip it out the other game there. Elder up early on Dakota West 7-0, and it continues to be 6-0 Hamilton over Fairfield. And it has been noted Jathan McLean is not dressed tonight. I'm sorry. Take that back as I say that. Touchdown pass by the Fairfield Indians. They lead 7-6 as they made their extra points.
I thought he was going to go back on.
I thought he was going to say.
Well, and that really has been their bread and butter all year. I mean, last week in the first quarter of the game against Fairfield, McLean hurt himself, and he came back later in the game, but clearly wasn't the same player.
Well, and I question that. I know you want to win the league title and all that, but you're already in the playoffs. I think they did him a disservice by playing him too much after he was hurt last week.
Freddie Johnson under center, Jalen Thomas up.
That ball is loose on the ground.
And there are Vikings all over the place.
Oh.
The Colerain Cardinal offensive lineman fell right on top.
Look at that, number 53 coming up amongst 4 other Vikings with the ball.
And he picks up a half yard. Yeah, he never really even got that from the center. It was just kind of it is cold. The ball is loose, and even with our cameras, we're watching the replay. We're not really sure where it's at, but I believe that's the reason that wasn't recovered by the players that often. They didn't know where it was at. Kind of in a.
And then it got took a funky hop, kicked around in the middle, and ended up on the outside.
So he 3rd down and 8.
So traditional wing setup here now. Comes Jalen Thomas in motion, drops back, looks to pass. Freddie Johnson throws it deep, is down the field.
I threw it to the wrong man.
Incomplete. Intended for number 16, Isaiah Myers.
He had him one-on-one, but if he looks up, he's got pace in the slot. Initially, that quick little post pattern open behind the linebacker. It would have took a good throw, but the wrong read on that one. But
well, or it's the right one. That's his first read is that outside man, and that's what he's looking at, and he's got his matchup one-on-one.
So Lawson Sandusky's going to bring in kicking it from his own area, about the 45-yard line.
4th down and 8, excuse me. There's a snap back. He's got it. Good pressure by Lawson Sandusky. And a nice punt kicks it out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
It'll be marked for that, Chris.
Yep, let's see how far they're going to walk it up.
19.
Right at the
20-yard line.
20-yard line. I think sometimes they default to the 20.
Well, you know what? He was walking. We've seen that the referee walks down the sidelines. He lines up with the lead official that's in the middle of the field and walks it down. But that ball landed right on the corner of the 20-yard line and the sideline. I don't think he really needed to walk that one off.
I guess that technically doesn't count as a punt.
I think the Cardinals got a kind.
That's inside the 20 because it is on the
Cardinals got a kind spot. I think that was out of the 21, but we'll take it.
We'll take the extra 3 feet.
So.
All right, so Princeton Vikings back on the field. Let's see if this defense has got something for Thomas Boyd. There's a handoff to him. Let's see what we've got. Jalen Thomas is in pursuit. Going to try and get him from the backside.
And they've run that play again. That's the same play. A little trap draw to that left side, or excuse me, to the right side.
That's 230 pounds of man moving quickly, and he gets it all the way up to the, if not for a first down. I think he got the first down. He did.
Yeah, they're moving the chains.
First down run for Thomas Boyd. That's at least his 3rd. I think first down run in a row.
Yeah, and it's not the same play. It's a similar play. Just a snap to the backfield, and he just kind of slight delay goes over the right side, follows the guard through the hole, and Colerain has not had an answer for that.
So he's got a run of 12 yards, a run of 13 yards, and now a run of 10 yards, back to back to back. So got to find a way to slow down this big running back, Thomas Boyd, in the backfield for the Princeton Vikings. There's the snap, and once again, hands off to him, and he's going to run around the side again. Good blocking by that huge offensive line, and another big run, still on his feet, and he's going to pick up 12 yards again. I guess it's one of those things like we've said before. If you can't stop it, you just keep doing it, right?
Yeah, that one looked slightly different. It looked like it was set up at the outside, but as I said, it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. This right side of the defensive line is having their way with the Colerain. We've made a couple substitutions on that left end, trying to find somebody. But where's the outside linebacker on that play, or even support? You got to give credit. They're getting those big yards. The big wide receiver on that side making blocks too.
Yeah.
But what Colerain's got to watch out for is overplaying that. We got a little bit different formation. They're going to go 3 wide this time.
Yeah, 3 wide to the opposite side of where they typically run.
I'm out. Princeton's play clock is about to expire.
Yeah, Princeton tried a little bit something different coming out, but indecision there, getting the personnel out there. They came out still in a shotgun formation, 1 tight end, but they had 3 wide receivers lined up to the left. But time clock expiring.
Couple quick updates. 3 and out for Lakota West is followed by another Elder touchdown. They lead 14-0. Hamilton punt is blocked out of the back of the end zone. They're now lead for a safety. Fairfield leads Hamilton 9-6.
So just
touchdown for Mason. They're tied with St. X 7-7.
Mason has shown some real life after the second half of the season. They finished 5-5, but I want to say they finished off the season maybe 3-2 in the final 5 games. And they've shown a propensity to be able to throw the ball.
They were down 28-19 to this Vikings team and just put a clinic on in the second half. Ended up winning. I'm sorry, they were down 19-7, to this Princeton Vikings team. And in the second half came back and won 35-19.
That was just last week. So here we go. First down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Once again, it's a handoff to Boyd. He's got it. He's going to get hit in the back field, and they're going to get him this time.
Face mask or holding is going to be the play of the year.
Yeah, it looked like Princeton's celebrating a little bit. Elijah Ford comes up. It looked like he made the initial contact. I asked for the outside linebacker to make a play, and he does. But it looks like they're pointing towards Colerain's way.
It's going to be on the Cardinals.
Well, that's unfortunate because you had Thomas Boyd stopped in the back.
Oh, and it's going to be the personal foul variety, too, so it's going to give
another
him...
look on Waycross here, the replay.
I mean, when you're running with that kind of authority, right?
Yep, and Beavers just got him up high.
Yeah, that's going to take it all the way down to the Colerain 44-yard line.
So first down after first down. I mean, it's a plethora of first downs for the Vikings. The Colerain defense has, at this point, got no answer for this revised rushing attack.
And how about this? Another mistake, mental mistake from the Colerain Cardinals. It's the second time they jumped offside.
This defense is clearly not where they were last week against Fairfield. They're struggling a little bit here at the start.
Well, the Cardinals wanted, they said the guy in the slot jumped. That's what the play they wanted, but I think the Colerain defensive lineman
doesn't see the guy in the slot.
Well, no, he jumped before the Princeton Vikings player jumped off sides.
Always kind of been curious. The guy closest to the ball when you got an interior tackle that jumps off sides, the ball's right there in front of you.
There's a snap back, and this time it's a handoff to number 30. A little speedy back. He's got some wide open room, and he makes 2 or 3 guys miss. He's still on his feet. He's got a clear path to the end zone, and he's into the end zone. Number 30 for the Princeton Vikings. But we have flags on the field.
It's coming back.
Where's the flag at? I don't see it.
It's downfield, just past the first down marker. At the
okay, I see it. I see it. Just at the 32-yard line.
Yep, 33, yep.
Holding Vikings.
So a big play is negated. It is a spot foul.
I apologize. I don't have
I believe how far the coach is out there jawing with the officials.
I apologize. I don't have a. That was a touchdown that got wiped out due to a penalty. So, but again, despite the penalty, it's very disconcerting.
It's another run. It's another delayed draw to that right side. So that'll bring it back and make it first down again for the Vikings.
That one, the hole was not there, but Beavers overran the play and the speedy back cut underneath it.
So it'll be a first down and 9.
First down and 9 at the Colerain 43-yard line. Score tied at 7, but the Princeton Vikings doing almost whatever they want on offense. There's a handoff once again to number 30, and there's a tackle in the backfield by number 2, Jalen Thomas.
That's what we were waiting for. He breaks through the line untouched. And that one thing about those delayed draws is they take a little bit of time to develop, and he gets them before he can get his foot planted. We watched replay here. Waycross gets to the outside, follows big 75, but nobody blocked Thomas.
That's huge. That's a 3-yard loss on the play, and you may not think, oh, a big deal. It's still only second down, but for a Colerain defense that, at least here on the past 2 series, really has been gashed. That could be a big confidence booster. Second down and 12. Once again, in the backfield is number 30. He's going to take it around the other side now, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage after only picking up 1 yard.
And an obvious holding on this outside. If we can get the replay. Defensive tackle, I believe it was Corleone.
Corleone hold his arm like...
Corleone just got a 2-point takedown.
And
I'm watching this left tackle right here. Right there. Well, no, he's kind of continuous block. I don't know.
Third down.
I'm not an offensive lineman, never have been.
Wasn't holding.
Either way,
Okay.
Thomas Boyd.
I was waiting to hear that from you, Brandon. You're our expert.
Thomas Boyd not in the backfield for the 3rd consecutive play. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down and 10. The defense needs to sit still and watch that ball. They're trying to call the.
3 seconds left in the play clock.
Yep.
He doesn't get it off.
He doesn't, but they called timeout right before.
So that's
trying to draw Colerain off sides. They wanted a hard count. Colerain flinched, but they didn't break.
Did not break the line of scrimmage, so it was not a penalty.
Again, those of you joining us live on wearecolerain.com, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's game. Division I Region 4 playoff action. It's the second season between the 9-1 Colerain Cardinals and the 6-4 Princeton Vikings here at Colerain High School. We'll be giving you scores and updates throughout the rest of the city as obviously the number of teams have got themselves down to 32 in Division I, the top 32 teams in the state, vying for a chance to go to Canton and play for the Ohio Division I state championship.
So right now, Mason is tied 7-7 with St. X. The time of possession in that first quarter, 10.5 minutes for Mason, a minute 29 for St. X in the first quarter time possession.
Well, that bodes well for the Comets. So here we go, 3rd down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Drops back to pass, does number 5. There's some pressure up the middle. He's going to keep it. He's going to throw it down the field, trying to get a first down, and it is incomplete and out of the hands of number 10. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, they put 4 wide receivers out there, 3 wide and 3 to the right, 1 to the left, and he had enough time, but Colerain pressure kind of got him a little bit. Good, give that little coverage pressure. Goes to throw it, and just a little bit underthrown. That ball bounces, so this will bring up the kicking unit. Deshaun Pace is going to be back for the Colerain Cardinals.
The punter averages 30 yards on his punt, so he's going to start from the 40, boots it around the 43. Let's see where it goes. Deshaun Pace lets it bounce and picks it up. Surprising, picks it up, takes it out to the 15. Going to make a few guys miss at the 20. Gets tackled out of bounds right about the 21-yard line.
Well, it's just a lot of lateral movement on there, making a lot of guys miss, but he does a good decision. He cannot get that ball clean. He lets it bounce, but fortuitous bounce for the Colerain Cardinals, as you see. He can't get it right there, but gives him enough time, and we've seen him back there. He's a very brave man when it comes to covering those kicks. Nobody really kind of gives a chance to square him up.
Tackles made by number 25 for the Princeton Vikings.
And it was an interesting decision there for the Princeton Vikings. I'm sure they wanted to go for it on 4th down. They don't have the best punting game, but they get enough to just pin the Cardinals deep.
I tell you what, that's a pretty slow snap. I don't know if Colerain's going to come after that later on.
Well, this is different. Pistol formation for the Cardinals.
Hamza Abdul-Wahid lined up on the right side. Freddie Johnson takes the ball, gives the handoff right up the middle. Didn't see who get it. It's Jalen Thomas that takes it out past the 25-yard line, take it up to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that's the first time we've seen this, the formation all year, the pistol formation. It follows his lead blocker up the middle.
Well, and the Cardinals have obviously seen that there is a huge gap in the way this Princeton Viking defense is giving them. But if they run that fullback drive, it allows the outside to kind of collapse before they can get it going.
Yeah, they're really in the A and B gap right on the center. But you're right, true off guard is there, right there.
Freddie Johnson's got it. He takes the snap and looked to pitch it, but decided to tuck it to keep it himself, and he's going to pick up another 4 yards on that play. It's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Yep, and it's pistol, but it's still the speed option. Freddie Johnson decides to cut it up, and the Cardinals aren't going to waste any time. They're not even going to huddle. They're going to go.
Because it's the end of the quarter.
That's the end of the quarter. I thought they were going straight to the line of scrimmage. After 1 quarter of play here at Colerain High School, it's the Colerain Cardinals 7, the Princeton Vikings 7.
And this broadcast brought to you by the volunteers here at wearecolerain.com along with the Waycross Community Media. This game will be available for replay sometime tomorrow, anytime online there at Waycross Community Media, but it'll also be available to you on Spectrum and Cincinnati Bell-Fi Optics. Saturday the 9th at 8 p.m., Monday the 11th at 5, Wednesday the 13th at 9 o'clock, and Friday the 15th at 3 o'clock. Also Sunday the 10th at 9 a.m. That's Spectrum 979, Cincinnati Bell-Fi Optics 850. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll go to our Facebook page. We already have, I believe, this posted on Twitter. Have your replay scores. But thank you to all the volunteers here at Waycross Community Media. You guys are sitting out in the cold and really doing a great job. Helping us.
Couple quick score updates. 14-0 Elder over West at the end of the first quarter. 9-6 end of the first quarter, Fairfield over Hamilton. St. X 7, Mason 7. Mason just had an interception and returned it deep into X territory. Cardinals reset, 3rd and 1.
Freddie Johnson directly under center. Oh, he takes a direct snap, and he's going to go forward to Deshaun Pace. Thank you. Did have enough for the first down. Gets down to about the 34-yard line.
Well, by one referee is standing, it looks, it's a first down. But Coach Daniels out in the middle of the field, he doesn't believe it's a first down, but he's not wearing a striped shirt.
Deshaun Pace now, and at quarterback, and by quarterback we mean Wildcat. We haven't seen to this point him doing anything of interest yet.
Touchdown Comets. They lead the Mason Comets lead the St. Xavier Bombers.
We're gonna get live updates from Brandon all night long.
Yep.
All right. Once again, in the shotgun, Deshaun Pez takes it, hands it off this time. Jalen Thomas going to pick up maybe 1 yard on the play.
We had another playoff rematch of the regular season where Ross defeated Hamilton Baden in the regular season. I don't think that's going to happen in their playoff rematch. Baden leads Ross 26-0 in the first quarter.
Holy moly.
In the first quarter?
Yep. It's a Ross team that beat them in the regular season.
Winning in the postseason is much different than winning in the regular season.
Well, and you see a team a second time, you know, everything changes.
And later in the season, you got new personnel. You maybe picked up things a little better.
He's exactly right.
Freddie Johnson back in the ball game.
Second down and 9. Lawson Sandusky in motion, but the handoff is right over the middle. Good move by the handoff. Hamza Abdullah, he takes it all the way up past the 40. We're going to say at the 44-yard line, 43-yard. Oh, no, they're going to give him the first down.
They're giving him the 44 for the first down.
You know, Hamza is not the biggest fullback Colerain's had in a while, but his size.
Look at him go. Look at him turn his leg.
He gets underneath the defense, and you know, low man wins. But what he does, he runs violently for his 175 pounds? Allegedly, he's not that big, but
he wrestled one. To give you some perspective, he wrestled 145 last year for the Colerain wrestling team.
Yep.
Now you can lose about 20 pounds pretty easily with some water weight for wrestling.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals on their own 43-yard line. Fresh set of downs. Freddie Johnson under center. There's a counter to Jalen Thomas. He takes it. 2 hands on the ball, and he's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. That was a fairly conservative run for Jalen Thomas.
Well, they're running the counter right there, and it was there. If the linebacker from Princeton keeps it from being a big play, but right there, that pile, if he could get outside there was nobody there.
Yeah, but he takes a risk. He falls forward for 2 extra yards. If he tries to go the outside, he's probably he can lose those 2 yards he got.
So 5-yard run on first down. We'll take that. Jalen Thomas, who came on really in the second half of the season, really kind of starting at the Hamilton game, is really kind of setting the tone, running the ball hard as a senior.
Well, he's one of those Colerain two-range players. You can't worry about him on one side of the ball, but you need him on defense.
As a man in motion, Freddie Johnson drops back, looks the pass, and he throws it. It is over the intended target. Hamza Abdul is
wide open.
And Freddie Johnson just trying to throw across his body there. Being a lefty, that's a tough pass to make, but it was there.
Well, Hamza's not the biggest target either. We've seen this time and time again be effective. They go play action, and the running back kind of just slips out of the backfield, and he was there. He was there, but you also got to throw over a big defensive line, and he just missed him by about 6 inches. But they brought in tank package right here. A 3rd down and 5.
Tank package, and they're going to go Wildcat.
Time. Play clock down to 5.
Yep.
Offsides.
Let's see what. Yep.
First down, Cardinals.
It's going to be offsides against the Princeton Vikings.
Well, Colerain have two offsides, and I believe this is the Princeton second offside. Is this enough for the first down, though?
We'll see. It should be, but who knows?
Well, the head official just signaled first down, so it doesn't matter. He already gave the first down. They can't take it back.
Well,
Yep.
Until they move the change, I'm not saying anything. So it is
the head official. That is close enough to deserve a measurement. But the head official,
you would think,
before they even went, just signaled first down. They'll stay with that tank package Wildcat formation.
Princeton 42-yard line.
Deshaun Pace again in at quarterback. Jalen Thomas in motion. Deshaun takes it. He looks for a hole. He runs straight ahead right into it. He's going to pick up 4 yards on that play. Boy, if he can just find a way to get through there, if just the slightest bit of a hole can open, he's gone.
Isn't that true with any running back, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's no one there to tackle him, he's not going to be
stopped.
If
the other team would just kind of lay down and let.
Assuming they don't trip. We've seen that before, too.
But the only thing with Pace, though, he's not a true running back. He's not a true running back. He runs very tall. He's a very big target to tackle.
He runs a lot like his brother, though. Hard.
Sean Pace, Jalen Thomas in motion, takes the ball, looks to try and find some room, runs right back up the middle again. Lots of tacklers there. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on the play down to the Princeton 40-yard line.
Officials timeout for something.
Yeah, they're calling. His helmet came off. Well, that'll change the formation here when your Wildcat quarterback gets in high school rules. His helmet comes off. He has to sit a play. So this 3rd down conversion, you're going to bring in your starting quarterback. Not a bad deal right there. But you know what? In an area, it's kind of interesting. They're at the 41-yard line. They need to get to the 37, almost two-down territory in the playoff situation.
Or a really good place for a fake.
You don't fake it on third down.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I formation. Takes the ball. There's his pitch out wide. There's going to be some room. Let's see if Jalen Thomas can get there. He can. He's into the open field. He's down to the 20-yard line. Got plenty for the first down. Still on his feet. Gets down inside the 10. It's another Colerain first down. Jalen Thomas.
A perfect read of the option. Gives it to the fullback. And I tell you what, great penetration by the Princeton Vikings. They almost blew that up. And it's a very late pitch.
And what made that even better by Freddie, he didn't get clean out of that mesh. He kind of had to pitch it from an awkward angle. He almost had to basketball pass that pitch, two hands out to the outside, but there's no one in front of Jalen Thomas for at least 10 yards, and he picks up the first down.
So it is first and goal because the ball is spotted just inside the 10.
Jalen Thomas got hit at the 20, took it another 10 yards. First and goal for the Cardinals at the 10-yard line. Score tied at 7. There's a handoff to Hamza Abdul-Wahid, and he turns and tries to get inside. And he's not going to get anything there but maybe a yard. We'll see where they mark it. That's that big defensive front for the Princeton Vikings.
Well, Freddie gave it, and Hamza didn't get tackled initially, but he just had nowhere to go.
Yep. I think that was number 25.
And where the Vikings didn't get penetration, but they didn't get allow for any holes or any pushback, and Hamza just runs in the back of his offensive line.
I believe that was Dixon that was right there. He didn't make the initial tackle, but he did plug the hole by pushing the guard.
Second down goal now at the 9-yard line.
Back to the I formation.
Yep. Hamza moving off center a little bit. There's Freddie Johnson, takes it on a counter. Got one man to beat. Jalen Thomas beats him, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals!
How about that? I've never seen Colerain run that play before.
We've run that several times in practice. Never in a game since Coach Haynes has been here.
Really?
That is the exact same play that the Colerain Cardinals would have scored a touchdown on in 2005 if not for a certain
offensive lineman,
Dr. Death jumping off sides. That was that play. That's the play.
Hey, I'm going to give credit for you're going to call Coach Haynes out there, but I'm going to give credit to Tyler Williams, the new offensive coordinator.
Kick is up, kick is blocked.
So good pursuit by the Princeton Vikings.
With 7:16 to play in the first half, it's the Colerain Cardinals 13, the Princeton Vikings 7.
You know what? That's come. We saw how important that was last week, and he just splits right between the guard. And I tell you what, he almost over pursued that. Got one hand back. Nice play, 22 by the Princeton Vikings.
So the Colerain Cardinals needing to do exactly what they just did, right? Take the lead back after the Princeton Vikings seemingly were unstoppable with Thomas Boyd at running back.
I know this isn't relevant to us, but keep going. Sorry.
Well, no, the last series before he went out, he was stopped for a yard and a half loss, but they went back to the scat back, who scored the touchdown. We still didn't stop him. It was called back.
Right.
And put them into a third and long. Colerain steps up in that third and long.
Let's be clear. Ross beat Hamilton Baden for the first time in school history this year in the regular season. It's not even halfway through the second quarter. It's now Baden 39, Rams 0.
40 points and a half?
It's not even halfway through the second quarter.
So there's a learning that goes on.
Yeah.
You have success.
Just saying, that's just a surprising score.
Yeah.
Well, on any team.
Yeah.
It's got to be some defensive scores on that to get back that quick.
What do you know, Brandon, what that matchup is in terms of seeds?
It's 4-5. Yeah. Baden is the 4 hosting.
So Cameron Ott teeing it up at the 40. I'll tell you what, the Princeton Vikings has set a gentleman up the same spot that Colerain kicks to every time this right side pop up.
See what they do. There's a line drive down through the middle, and it's caught it inside the 10-yard line. Looking for some room. Here comes the Cardinals down on defense, and they over pursued, and they're up at the 30.
You gave up your lane.
You gave up the lane, and unfortunately, that's Cameron Ott that made the tackle right at the 40-yard line. I think is where they'll mark it. But
I'll tell you what. It's kind of a little bit of a hit there.
Well, I think they're going to say it was just momentum. He didn't like Cameron Ott.
Well, it looked like he ran into his own player, and then we'll see a good replay here. Cameron Ott knocks it.
Yeah, that was Willis.
That was a continuation. It was continuation of attack.
That was pretty
close. It's a kicker. He didn't know what he's doing.
Well, it was Willis, the 29, who came back in and kind of grabbed them both and shoved them both out of bounds. But hey, if the Viking player is still in bounds, you've got to make the tackle, even if it
I think they were complaining about because Cameron Ott followed him all the way to the ground. But anyway, first down for the Princeton Vikings at their own 43.
Yep. But once again, the handoff is to number 7, Boyd, who's got it. The whistle has not been blown dead. There it is.
But not before Boyd picks up about 4 yards.
Yep. Maybe. Yep. Second down and 6 for the Vikings. Again, number 7, Thomas Boyd, really doing a lot of damage for the Vikings here early. The 6'1", 230-pound junior. So, yay, excited to see him again next year. Again, quarterback Dorian Durham, 6'1", 170-pound senior. Let's see here. Lined up. Snap is back. Handoff once again to Thomas Boyd. He gets it, tries to cut it back across the middle, and he's going to get stopped. Pick up maybe 1 yard on the play. That's generous at that.
This time the Colerain defensive line kind of holds their ground here. There's not much of a hole. He shows a lot of patience and waits for it.
And the Cardinals defense kind of did what the Princeton Vikings defense did to Hamza near the goal line. You hold him up. You didn't get the penetration, but you're not getting pushed back, and the running back has nowhere to go.
Third down and 5.
Colerain defense turning to the crowd, trying to get the Cardinal faithful. Making a big play, 3rd down and 6.
It's cold enough. They should all be standing and cheering and yelling. And there's lots of cheering and yelling. Snap is back, drops back, looks to pass, does Brian, and it's tipped, and it is incomplete.
Did he tip it though?
I looked like it was tipped at the line, but there's all kinds of players down now.
Yeah.
They're getting up. Corleone's getting up.
Elijah Ford getting up a little bit
I
slow.
think Elijah Ford and Dante Corleone, that is, I haven't played a game this cold in a long time, and I hit the ground hard.
Yep.
A little difficult to recover from that. So the Vikings come out, and they'll be forced to go to the punt formation. But again, this is a very good place for a fake.
One of these days, you're going to call it. Snap is back. It's a good snap that time. A little bit of pressure. Not a great punt.
There's a flag on the play. The Colerain defensive players on the substitution did not get off the field in time. I believe they're going to get him with 12 men on the field.
So it's 4th and 5.
It'll be close. It'll be close. It's about 4th and 6. And it wasn't even that quick of a snap. Colerain was just not hustling. So it depends. So it'll really.
We're just taking our time here. The referee is making.
Well,
he needs a decision from Coach Daniels.
Well, he's going to give him a first down. I don't know what kind of decision he needs to make.
He's not going to give him the first down.
The official on the far side has already signaled the first down, even though they need. I don't know if they needed 5. Again, just like earlier, I think a measurement is warranted. Yeah, they put the ball down and didn't even. They moved the chains before, and they needed. It looked like it looked almost close to 6. It was close. It possibly could be a first down. But that's twice the officials, once with the Princeton offense and now this time with the Colerain defense, have moved the ball and just assumed it was a first down.
Well, either way, first down and 10 for the Princeton Vikings on the Colerain 47-yard line based on the too many men on the field penalty against the Cardinals. Once again, there's in the backfield, drops back to pass, does Dorian. He looks, he throws it deep down the field. There's a man open. Let's see if the Colerain Cardinals can get
Picked off!
And Deshaun Pace, the UC commit, steps in and picks off a pass, his second one of the night.
And this is the first one was as easy as it gets. This one's pretty spectacular. He's in perfect position. He tips it away, but he basically volleyball sets it to himself, catches it as he's falling down.
Well, we've seen this from the Princeton Vikings. It's pretty much just throw it up there to your tall receivers. You get a number of theirs. It's.
Yep, and he doesn't. He gets tackled. He falls backwards over number 21.
That was Sterling Burkhalter, 6'3", and they've also got a 6'2" receiver over there.
That was a mistake by him. They ran a little post wheel.
The wheel was there.
The post. I don't know if the wheel was there, but the wheel is a lot more
less covered.
Less covered than the post.
But well, you know what? This kind of acts as a great punt. Gets Colerain deep in their own territory. The ball's going to be spotted for a Colerain offense at their own 6-yard line.
So they got a long ways to go with 5 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the opening half. Up 13-7. There's a handoff up the middle. The Princeton defense is there for a very, very short game.
Nope, he squeezed and fell for about 3 yards. Well, if we started at the 6 or the 7.
He started at the 8.
He's at the 10.
That's
So we're
a 2-yard pickup. We'll give him that.
Yeah, kind of an odd angle that we're watching from. But
It's a yard and a half more than I thought he got.
yeah. I guess they gave him forward of progress.
Yep. So 2nd down and 8. Cardinals up 13-7. They'd love to add to it going into halftime as they will receive the second half kickoff. Man in motion. There's the handoff on the side. Hamza Abdul-Wahid gets it to Sean Pace with a good block. He gets tackled, taken down by number 11 on the side, but not until he picks up another Cardinal first down.
He did not pick up the first down.
Defensive.
How close is he? Oh, he's so close.
Defensive speed right there. Juwan Jarrett shuts that down. I tell you what, there was from our angle a nice little crease right there.
Well,
he's going to be a yard shot.
Good weak side pursuit. Could bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Jarrett, I think he's heading to Kansas on a full ride scholarship.
And the Vikings
he got Vikings offsides again.
Quick update with another touchdown. It is now Mason 20, St. Xavier 7.
Wow. And you know what? I did see nothing in that game just yet. How many times has X this year been behind and had a big?
Oh, their second half.
Their second half is amazing. Yeah. But you know what I've seen, what we saw when we played Mason. This is the mentally toughest Mason team I've seen in a long time.
And I didn't see the Mason game, so I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, it's one of those. Usually when Colerain gets up, they'll kind of sit down.
Yep. Freddie Johnson under center. Deshaun Pace now in motion. There's a fake handoff across the middle. Freddie Johnson keeps it, makes one man miss, stays on his feet. He's going to get gang tackled, but not until he gets out to about the 28-yard line. They're going to give him to the 30.
Really good play. He made 2 great plays, one against Jaheim Thomas, one by Jaheim Thomas. Freddie Johnson made a good move to juke out Jaheim Thomas. Thomas did a good job of grasping onto him once he was by him and almost olaying him backwards, but not until Freddie picks up 8 yards.
Yeah, he was being blocked there. He was covered up. I tell you what, he threw that offensive lineman away.
So Mason leads St. X, and now Hamilton leads Fairfield. They took the lead and then pinned Fairfield inside their own 10-yard line. They lead 13-9.
Deshaun Pace in motion. He gets the pitch. He's running wide, trying to find some opening. He gets some blocking. Makes one guy miss. He's still on his feet. Gets it all the way up to the 48-yard line, 49-yard line. It's another first down for the Colerain Cardinals.
As we've seen with this offense, the inside sets up the outside. Colerain, almost that entire first quarter, everything was between the tackles. They're getting those linebackers and safeties inside. In the last 2 plays we've seen, when you got them pinched inside, if you can get a block, you can get a big play to the outside. Great play call.
Under 3 minutes, Cardinals have 2 timeouts and 52 yards to go. They go to the shotgun.
Freddie Johnson claps, takes the ball, keeps it himself, runs through the middle, runs through an arm tackle, takes it up into Viking territory, down to the 48-yard line.
I tell you,
down.
I'd like to see that same formation again, and the slot receiver, which is his Pace, there's nobody over him.
I know.
Just that quick hitch right there.
A little bit more quickly now up to the line of scrimmage. Jalen Thomas, Deshaun Pace, and Isaiah Myers. That split wide to the left. One receiver split to the top.
Princeton switches over. They see the 3 receivers that
Single
side.
back. Freddie Johnson takes it, pitches it out. Jalen Thomas has got it. He's got enough for the first down. Inside the 40-yard line, all the way down.
And a little bit different wrinkle. Usually when they run that play, there's only 2 receivers on that end. But when they start in the shotgun, go trips. Now you got 3 guys over there. It turns into 2 blockers instead of 1, and it's an easy first down for Jalen Thomas.
Down to the 37-yard line, first down and 10 for the Colerain Cardinals. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go here in the opening half. Freddie Johnson once again in the shotgun. Right next to him, Hamza Abdul-Wahid. Deshaun Pace in motion. Interesting pitch. Freddie Johnson takes it, drops it. He's going to get tackled by Jaheim Thomas. Ball hit him in the hands, and unfortunately on a cold night, he just dropped it.
That was Freddie Johnson, knew exactly what he wanted. He wanted Isaiah Myers right away. Isaiah Myers running just a 7-yard stop, and Freddie Johnson's looking downfield before he caught the shotgun snap.
Yeah, he takes his eyes off us. You're absolutely correct, Brandon. Saw a play that was...
Isaiah Myers was wide open, and it was just a 7-yard stop route. But Freddie Johnson is looking at him before he catches that pass.
So 124, Colerain still with 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, they need to move a little bit quicker here. That really does get them, unfortunately, off schedule. Second down and 17. Deshaun Pace in motion. Speed pitch to him one more time. Let's see if he can find something on the edge. Stiff arms one blocker. Stays on his feet, stays in bounds, and here comes a flag from the back judge.
Yeah.
Not sure what that's going to be for.
That's either a hold or a lineman downfield, or maybe a defensive hold.
Can't be lineman downfield. It was a running.
It's a running play, but there was one of the offensive linemen blew his guy all the way back. But
I think we're going to get a high-low on the Cardinals, but downfield.
Brownie points for you, Brandon, if you get that one right.
Well,
here's the thing.
It looks like they're heading the area where they're going to walk. They're facing like they're going to walk off against Princeton. Oh nope, he's turned around.
What?
Yeah, the end zone referee has called that one from all the way in the end zone, and the ball was.
Hold on.
They're saying the hold occurred at the 31.
Well, wouldn't that take you back to the 41 as a 10-yard penalty?
Or with a 38. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
just
they're
past
all
the
way
line
back
of scrimmage.
They're all the way back at the 48.
Well,
I missed that. I guess.
Yeah, they're saying it was actually. You got to judge that in the end zone, calling something that happened 3 yards.
That was clearly a penalty.
Yeah, it might have been.
All we could say.
It was weird.
So now it's 2nd down and 22 with under a minute left to go in the game in the first half. There's a handoff to Jalen Thomas on a jet sweep. He's going to get taken down, I think, for a yard loss. So, unfortunately, what looked like a
loss in Sandusky half back pass we need right now.
For unfortunately, penalties and a drop snap completely took this series off the rails, and the Cardinals are going to be smart to just get to halftime with a 13-7 lead.
You still run a play.
No,
Well, first of all, you have to run a play.
Yes, you certainly do. 25 seconds left on the first half clock, 15 seconds on the play clock.
But why not just? I mean, even if it's just a Hail Mary, you're taking a shot, because you know even if it's intercepted, it's set up as a punt.
Assuming that interception doesn't get returned.
Yeah. You have the lead, and you get the ball to start the second half. There's nothing wrong with this. 9 seconds. Now, Princeton will have a timeout, so if the Cardinals don't pick up 22 yards or a touchdown on this play, they can force the Cardinals to run another play if time does not expire.
Well, this gives your defense, too. I mean, you can set back, play some prevent, but you can't open up too much.
So if you're the Cardinals,
Cameron Ott's got
if you're the Cardinals,
decent
I know
leg.
this is in their arsenal. You can run. You don't have to run a Hail Mary here. You can run a quick little out to the sidelines. You have a timeout left. Set up a 4th down, and then, heck, if you're in the middle of the field, set up Cameron Ott for a field goal attempt if you think he's got the leg. It's not going to matter if time expires, or just take another shot thrown deep in the end zone. So Cardinals do not necessarily have to go for the 1st down, nor do they have to get a 1st down here to do something here.
No, Cameron Ott's he's not warming up over there kicking any balls into the net, so I don't think he has any expectation.
Well, you don't know if they get a nice play here down to the 25, 30-yard line. You never know.
Yep.
So Colerain's going to go shotgun.
And they're going to
3 to the left. Deshaun Pace, the only wide receiver at the top of the field, 1-on-1.
Just throw it to Pace right now. Let him go 1-on-1.
Trying to maybe hopefully break a tackle.
He doesn't seem to have safety help. Okay, there goes the safety.
No, there's no safety help on that side. Yeah, and Princeton saw what Deshaun Pace was waving at. Hey, I have 1-on-1 here. I don't.
Yeah, Deshaun Pace wide open on the far side. Princeton saw it.
More importantly, the Cards need 2 seconds back on the clock. 2 seconds ran off. That clock should be put back on. Panthers score again. Elderly's with Lakota West 21-3. St. X has scored. They've made it 20-13. Bombers trail the Comets. Hamilton still leads Fairfield.
And with the glare of Coach Cutright up to the press box, the referees are trying to get him to, I believe, correct the time.
And when what we did see, Cardinals weren't throwing deep there. That was set up for a quarterback draw for Freddie Johnson.
Well, that was interesting. A lot of times you do the 3 wide, you do it on the wide side of the field, there's more room, but they brought everybody to the short side of the field, which looks like they're kind of, what are they doing right now? Well, this time they go with a wing back, only 2 at the bottom.
We said it before this game started. This was going to be a tight, tough game. This Vikings team is talented. They're come on the road. They're only down by 1 score to the Colerain Cardinals here as we're getting ready to go into halftime. Let's see if the Cardinals can pull off a miracle. Drops back, looks to pass, and it is a pass indeed.
Hook and ladder!
To a hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder!
He's still on his feet. He's in bounds, but I think he got pushed out of bounds.
1 second left, but it all depends.
And like I said, you don't need to score a touchdown. You just got to get close enough for a camera not field goal attempt.
And Princeton is going to use it, even though he got out of bounds and stopped the
Look at
clock with
Jalen
1
Thomas.
second left.
He's getting on his horse trying to get out of bounds, but or get down the field.
No, he
and
wanted
get
to
that
score
push
right
down.
there.
Oh, of course, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Timeout, Colerain. That's a good timeout by Coach Cutright. No need to rush your kick team out there. You've got it at the 15-yard line at the right hash with a chance for 3 points.
He's going to be kicking a rock as it's freezing or below by now. Jalen Thomas doing everything he can to get downfield, and credit to number 11 for the Princeton Vikings. I think that's Jarrett once again.
Yeah,
who came down and pushed him out of bounds.
Juwan Jarrett.
6'2", 182-pound senior. God,
And as
everybody on their
soon
team
as
is
Deshaun
6 foot
Pace did
I saw
that,
it.
you knew it was coming. Deshaun Pace kind of just lazily ran a little slant, kind of didn't do much, waiting for Jalen Thomas to get there.
Yeah, but as we saw with the extra point, Princeton came right up the middle last time, jumping between the guard and the center gap to block good.
So Cameron Ott on to attempt a field goal attempt with 1 second left here in the first half. Take it, Brandon.
37-yard attempt. Snap is back. Kjeld is down. Kick will be through the uprights just barely. And at the halftime, it's your Colerain Cardinals 16, the Princeton Vikings 7. And that was good by about as little as a field goal could be. He got it high to avoid the block, and it landed as close as it can to the crossbar without hitting the crossbar, and it goes through for 3 points. So at halftime, again, Colerain leads the Princeton Vikings 16-7. For those of you listening on wearecolerain.com, we will be back at halftime with about 5 minutes on the clock with stats and scores from around the city.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Princeton, the Princeton High School Marching Band, led on the field by drum majors Nolan Gardner, Jasmine Garcia, and Cameron Tucson. The band is directed by Kyle Phillips, assisted by Becky Brown and Todd Lenhart. The drill team is directed by Jennifer Kuhn. Also assisting the marching band is Leslie Schultz. For your halftime enjoyment, we proudly present Disney Showstoppers. And now for a trip to the happiest place on the face of the earth. And what is your wish? Would you like to build a snowman? Let it go for Frozen. From the Jungle Book, our friends Baloo and Mowgli tell us that all we need in life are the bare necessities. Now we feature the Princeton drill team as Maui sings to Moana, "You're Welcome." Now, who needs a genie when you have a friend like me from Aladdin? song that signifies Viking victory, Go Princeton!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way out to the field, presenting the pride of Colerain High School, the Colerain Cardinal Marching Band. Tonight, the Cardinal Band dedicates our show to you, Colerain Cardinal Nation, who gave us your support at the polls this past Tuesday with the passage of the Northwest Local School Levy. Your support ensures that Colerain High School will continue building the tradition of excellence that is the Colerain High School Marching Band and Music programs. We would also like to congratulate our friends in the Princeton School District on their passage of their levy as well. Give yourselves a hand, Cardinal and Viking Nation. The Cardinal Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Jacob Page, with Assistant Directors Glenn Greenwood, Zachary Strong, Clifton Gray, Haley Page, Jenna Ledbetter, Edward Whitehead, R.J. Schaefer, Barb Terrell, T.J. Brannigan, Sam Jackson, and Shelby Murray. The Cardinal Band will be in competition tomorrow at the Mid-States Band Association Class 3A Championships at West Claremont High School. Our performance time is 10:30 a.m. Come out and support your Cardinal Marching Band. Drum majors, is the band ready to perform? Now under the field direction of Sam Lights and Corinne Webster, in honor of Cardinal Nation, now and into the future, the Cardinal Marching Band proudly presents our show, Atlantis. Once again, your Colerain Cardinal Marching Band. Once again, fans, we invite you out to West Claremont High School for the band's competition in the Mid-States Band Association Class 3A Championships. Once again, performance time is 10:30 a.m. and we need your support. We are Colerain.
We're here. All right, ready. And we are back with halftime stats here at Colerain High School. The Princeton Vikings and the Colerain Cardinals at half. The Cardinals lead 16-7. The Cardinals have 9 first downs to Princeton's 5. Cardinals 148 yards rushing on 26 attempts. Princeton 12 rushing attempts for 74 yards. Passing yards, Princeton and Vikings have yet to complete a pass to themselves.
Yeah.
Colerain Cardinals, this has got to be the most impressive entire game's worth. They have 45 yards passing, 2 of 4 attempts. 0 of 4 are the Princeton Vikings. Total offense, 16 plays. Only 16 plays of offense for the Princeton Vikings, just 74 yards in that first half. The Colerain Cardinals, 30 plays, 139 yards. No fumble returns for either team. 1 punt return of 15 yards for the Cardinals. 3 kick returns of 66 yards for the Vikings. 1 for 18 for the Cardinals. Interceptions, 2 by the Colerain Cardinals. 1 punt each for each team. 5 penalties on the Vikings for 28 yards, 5 penalties on the Cardinals for 44 yards. Time of possession was a big discrepancy. Cardinals was 16 minutes and 20 seconds of possession, more than doubling up on the Princeton Vikings, 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Individual leaders, Jalen Thomas, the leading rusher for the Cardinals, 52 yards on 6 attempts. Deshaun Pace, 31 of those on that hook and ladder there. I don't know. That's one of those weird, do you count it as a reception, but it really goes down as a run. Deshaun Pace, 5 carries, 37 yards. Hamza Abdul-Wahid, 8 carries, 25 yards. Freddie Johnson, 6 carries, 23 yards. All of the yards for the Princeton Vikings, except for 3, come from Thomas Boyd. He's got 9 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown, a long of 18. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. Dorian Durham, 1 carry, 3 yards. And Ari Turner, 2 carries for -1 yards. It does not include that long touchdown run he had that was called back. Dorian Durham, 0 for 4 throwing with 2 interceptions. Freddie Johnson, 2 of 4 for 5 yards and a long of 33. Jalen Thomas with both of those receptions for the Cardinals, that long of 33. Punting, Lawson Sandusky, 1 for 19 yards. Tamir Matthews, 1 for 36 yards. We are back here on Waycross Community Television in partnership with WeAreColerain.com. Your Cardinals lead the Princeton Vikings 16-7 at halftime. Elsewhere around the city, for your scores here in the Division I Region 4 playoffs, we have one game that's pretty much going as everyone expected, and 2 other games with major upsets brewing. Elsewhere around in Region 4, it is, as expected, the Elder Panthers are leading Lakota West, but then as time expired in the half to make it 28-3, Elder Panthers over Lakota West Firebirds. Elsewhere, Juthon McLean is not playing for the Fairfield Indians, and the offense has struggled without them. They trailed early 6-0, blocked an extra point against Hamilton, responded with a long touchdown pass, made it 7-6 Fairfield, blocked the ensuing punt by the Hamilton Big Blue out of the back of the end zone for a safety, and then a touchdown answer by the Big Blue. And at a halftime, it is the 7th seeded Hamilton Big Blue leading the number 2 seed Fairfield Indians 13-9 at halftime. Elsewhere, there's the biggest upset that was brewing. The Mason Comets gave up a touchdown early to St. X and then struck off 20 straight points. The 8 seed Mason Comets Gave up a touchdown late in the half, but they lead the St. Xavier Bombers at St. Xavier. The 8 seed leads the 1 seed. Mason leads St. Xavier 20-13 at halftime.
So, yeah, we've seen time and time again, you play the game in the first 2, but you win the game in 4. St. Xavier is always a great second half team, and we'll see what Princeton can do, what Fairfield can do.
St. Xavier was down. They're going to get the ball first 2. They were down 24 to nothing to Moeller at half and came back to win 27-24. So
we're getting ready for about kickoff here at the cage, Colerain High School. 30 seconds left. We're going to start this second half. Your Colerain Cardinals leading 16-7, and as we remember, they won the toss and deferred the second half. So the 2-score lead, a score here would be really, 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 really big for the Colerain Cardinals. They come out. They're going to start the game on this second half on offense.
How big?
Real big.
Interestingly, Colerain won the first matchup. I think it's 23-14, so they're in line. If they can put another 7 points on the board to at least match the 23 points they had in the first.
But the Cardinals are going to have to come out and hopefully score some points here early, because in the last game, it was really Colerain led 23, I think, to 7 at halftime. The game ended 27-19, 23-19, 27-19. Princeton really controlled the second half.
23-14 was the final.
23-14.
Thomas Boyd scored the touchdown late in the game. You're right, it was 23-7 most of the second half.
And the Cardinal offense really got shut down in the second half.
Yep.
But as we've seen here in the first half, Tyler Williams and your offensive coordinator, Daniel Rod, as quarterback coach, they've really kind of seen some new wrinkles that we haven't seen all year from this Cardinal offense.
So didn't we see a couple weeks ago at halftime a team tried an onside kick to start the half against
Pretty sure
Colerain?
it was these Princeton Vikings.
That's what Elder did tonight. They started off their game against Lakota West with an onside kick, and they recovered it.
Mason, we were told, recovered the onside kick in their game against St. X. Oh, against us. Sorry. Mason was the team against us that kicked the onside.
Just looking at our front line, I don't think that's our traditional front line. It's not really the hands team.
That's our regular front.
Is it?
23 going to be kicking off. That is
setting
Michael
up pretty
Everson.
deep. I don't think he's going to squib this one.
I think. Hold on.
All sides, the Princeton Vikings.
5 free yards for the Cardinals. What we do know is a lot of teams scout the Cardinals, know where they're kicking off, and I think the Cardinals kind of know where the Princeton Vikings want to set up this. That's where Deshaun Pace was right there to field that ball before it was blown dead for the offsides.
So the kickoff will move from the 40 back to the 35. And Princeton will do it again. There's the replay here on Waycross. You can see, yep, right down there. Yep.
Yeah.
Good
Calling
call
on
by
a
the
couple
ref.
of guys. So Williamson and Pace back for the Colerain Cardinals. Going to set up
The referee trying to tell
15.
Princeton right now. Princeton's lining up, and they're like, "Oh, guys, you guys got to go back 5 yards. Move the tee. You guys are offside." And there's a cup there. There they go.
There they go. Now
They're still lined. Nope. Up. There they go. I think they finally realized. So everyone steps back. Vikings step back 5. Cardinals step up 5.
Certainly not the first time they've had offsides called, I would assume. I mean, they should know what that is. There we go. You need to be a little bit more
It's more
careful
about
here.
the referee kind of taking control.
So here we go. Second half is underway. That's good. No flags on that one.
Going to kick it out of bounds.
Yep. It's going to go out of bounds at
Moving
the
back again.
15-yard line. The Cardinals will take over. First down and 10
Make him kick it again.
at their own
I
35.
don't think that's an option.
That's not an option anymore.
It's first and 10 at the 35. Why would
It's
you?
the first and 10 at the
At the 40 because they moved
Oh,
it
it's up
back.
to the 40. Excuse me.
But moving back 5 yards. Maybe it's 2 bad kicks right in a row. So they're talking about it. But the offense is coming out. So, yeah.
Yep.
All
All right.
Wait, we said it to 35.
Maybe that's just the 35. Whatever it is. Just take it.
So traditionally, would it be at the 30?
Maybe the penalty was declined.
Who knows? They get the ball to 35.
There we go. First down and 10 for the Cardinals. Up 16-7 as we get ready to start second half action here at Colerain High School.
It's a traditional wing formation. Freddie Johnson under center.
Yep. In motion is Jalen Thomas. Freddie Johnson fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He's going to pick up about 2 yards
They're
on
going
that
to give
run.
him for progress for 3, though.
Kind
Maybe.
of lost them all in that pile. Did Freddie Johnson keep it as himself? Gives it to the fullback. Nope, follows him behind, but there's just nowhere to go. Big 99 up the middle.
And that's just bad. That hole was there. That's just not good blocking on the backside by the Cardinals. Your one technique on the backside should not catch your quarterback. That's just not a good scoop block on the backside for the Cardinals.
Once again, traditional wing formation. Jalen Thomas in motion. He gets the pitch, looking for a block, gets around the side, cutting it back in towards the middle, trying to find some more room.
Oh, he had one man to beat.
Unfortunately, he came right back into the waiting arms of the defender. He did have that one man to beat, but he couldn't quite beat him. Positive gain on the play, though. It'll be third down.
Third down and 3. The Cardinals will need the 45-yard line.
Yeah, the pitch went to the left there, and Princeton does a good job to turn him back in. There's a crease if he can find it, but the backside holds him there. A big third down conversion right here. They need 3.
So good defensive recovery for Princeton. Deshaun Pace.
Didn't get him to go off sides on that play.
Yep.
8 seconds left in the play clock.
Ray Johnson directly under center. Deshaun Pace in motion. Drops back, looks to pass. He gets hit and taken down for a sack. Not sure exactly what was going on there.
He was looking to pass. Yeah, he was looking to pass the ball right there. He saw something as he takes the ball out of center. Doesn't really fake it, looks to throw it, but there's just nobody open in the weak side. That's got to be quick because the Princeton Vikings were coming and they get to him for a big loss.
And that was an audible from the sideline, and I don't know if the man in the slot just didn't read it or what, or that the Vikings, there was a bad audible by the sidelines. Either way, it results in a loss and a fourth down.
So yeah, Lawson Sandusky setting up at his own 25. 2 Viking backs setting up at about their own 30.
Not a good place for a fake. Snap is back. It's a high snap. Sandusky's got it.
Boom.
Good kick. Booms it right over their heads all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Did he outkick his coverage, though?
Well, maybe. Taken up to the 25, up to the 30. So, again, that's Princeton having really good football players. I mean, he picked the ball up at the 10, took it all the way back up to the 30.
Well, sometimes you get such a big kick, it doesn't give a lot of time for your guys to get down the field, and that creates a lot of lanes for them to go in. You got 2 returners back. You use one as a lead blocker here, and he finds a kick. As Sandusky just boomed it, cleared both of the Princeton Vikings, and he picks it up by 12.
Actually started at like the 7-yard line.
But he's got a lead blocker in front of him, and
probably got
no outside container.
Probably got the 8 of a lot block in the back as well.
Yes, did you see that? I saw that too in live action. So first down and 10 now for the Princeton Vikings, trailing 16-7, their first possession of the second half.
Going to the I formation.
Yeah, under center now. I formation. Number 5 is in, takes the ball, hands it off. Give it to Horton.
Horton?
Yep, Horton's got it, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Takes it around left side, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds. But not until he gets to the 40-yard line. So 11-yard run on first down.
And not only is Horton in at running back, Darian Henry, your Ohio State defensive end, is in at tight end.
So Princeton mixing it up a little bit here, trying to find some way to get their offense going. They scored on their first series of the game and have not scored since.
Yeah, Henry, the quarterback transfer kind of made a change here. We're seeing him at tailback. Get your best athletes with the ball.
Yep, with Jaden Horton in the backfield, number 41 in his lead blocker. He's got the handoff one more time, and this time the Colerain defense was there, led by Donovan Owens and a whole host.
That ball's loose.
They're saying it's
that ball's loose.
We're waiting for a call.
We didn't hear a whistle.
Nope.
Colerain is kind of celebrating. They're unpiling him at the moment. Colerain ball.
That is the third turnover of the night for the Colerain defense. 2 interceptions, both by Deshaun Pace.
Jalen Thomas is the one walking away from the pile.
No, 8.
Jalen Thomas.
Deshaun Pace is pretty happy. Who's 8?
8 is Xander Kendall.
Is that Xander? But he wasn't the one that had it.
No.
All right. So either way, the Colerain defense steps up once again, causing a fumble this time and recovering
it. And they hold him up, and I don't know where it pops out. It does right there. Sean Williamson ripped it out, trying to fight up, and there's a couple Cardinals there. I don't know how Jalen Thomas is the one who comes away with it because there's a fight for it. Thomas is the one who kind of jumps on the pile to make sure it doesn't get loose.
So Sean Williamson credited with the forced fumble. Jalen Thomas with the fumble recovery. First down and 10 for the Cardinals. So they're kind of just picking back up off their last series where they were stopped. Pace and Meyer set left. They move now left to right.
We see our first defensives. Henry and Thomas, our 2 defensive studs, are on opposite sides in the first half. They're on the same side this half.
There we go. There's the pitch back. Jalen Thomas has got it. There's a good block by number 87. Jalen Thomas is going to have enough for the first down. Makes several guys miss, stays on his feet, and gets hit hard, but he gets all the way down inside the 15-yard line and jumps right back up. First down, Cardinals.
Another wrinkle that we're seeing from coordinator Tyler Woods. We haven't seen that. You brought your two guys set left early. You put them in motion. They set up right, and then you run motion right, but you run the pitch left.
That's a new wrinkle. And credit that one. Kawasi Jones, the junior, he's played all over on that offensive lineman. He's kind of been the utility man. Played tight end now that Beavers has to play defense. He seals the UC commit, Jaheim Thomas.
Set up in the I formation, first down and 10.
And sets up Jalen Thomas for the big run.
Sorry, Brandon, my apologies.
You're fine.
Just didn't know how quick they're going to go here. I formation, two split wide to the top of the field. There's the handoff right over the middle. Taken up to the Wahid on the carry. He's going to get all the way down to the 10-yard line. So 4-yard pickup on first down run for Hamza Abdul Wahid.
And if they get a 5-yard penalty, the referees will automatically give them a first down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there was getting up off that pile. I saw something a little dirty, but I'm not going to call the young man out just yet.
We don't need to do that. 8:25 left to go here in the third quarter.
And
Colerain up 16 to 7.
Tony in the booth did a good job of cutting the replay off right at the right time.
There we go. Fakes the handoff, and it's a pitch out to Jalen Thomas. He's going to run wide, see if he can cut it and get it in. And he does! Touchdown! Cardinals! Jalen Thomas in for 6.
And the Cardinals needed to come out in that opening drive and make a statement. They didn't. They looked like Princeton had the momentum, starting 2 big plays, and then they force a fumble, and there's the big play here. And this is perfect option. Quarterback Reed gives it to the, pitches it out. 2 great blocks by Isaiah Myers and Deshaun Pace on the edge. Jalen Thomas cuts it up, and it's Cardinal 6 points. It'll be Sandusky with the snap, Prather with the hold, Ott with the kick. And give credit to these wide guards. They've improved vastly from the beginning of the season, and it's hard for Isaiah Meyer as we get set here for the extra point. Snap is back, holds down. Kick is good. And with 8:13 to play in the third quarter, it's the Colerain Cardinals 23, the Princeton Vikings 7. Isaiah Myers is going to go someplace Division I as either a basketball player or a wide receiver. If he chooses, whatever sport he chooses to play, he's a supreme athlete as just a sophomore out there. But in this offense, it's like Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech. You got to become a blocker supreme on the edge, and he was not very good as a sophomore at the beginning of the season. And as Coach Bowen always used to say, this time, week 11, you're no longer a sophomore, you're no longer a freshman, you're no longer a junior. And his blocking here, along with the senior Deshaun Pace, and you got to learn as one of those guys on the edge. You're not an offensive lineman trying to blow your guy off the ball. What you're doing on the edge is letting the defender go, and you're pushing him one way or the other. If he wants to go on the outside, try to get around you, you take him to the outside. If he tries to get inside of you take him inside. Let the running back read off of you. And Isaiah Myers has come a long way from week 1 blocking on the edge here to week 11.
I think people forget. I mean, he's 15 years old, right? I mean,
for anybody, he might be 14, 15. You don't
right.
know.
For anybody who's got a 14 or 15-year-old, I mean, trying to get him to listen to do anything is hard.
And you look at him, he's 6'5", he's a kind of a string bean, but he takes his helmet off, and he's a 14, 15-year-old kid.
No doubt about it. So the Cardinals were able to convert on that turnover. Again, the defense's 3rd turnover of the night against these Princeton Vikings, and now lead 23-7, give themselves just a little bit more breathing room.
Still a lot of time to play, but it kind of makes the Princeton Vikings a little one-dimensional, possibly.
Squib kick.
Yep, right up the middle, bounces, caught at the 10-yard line. Here comes the Colerain defense. That's Jaden Horton, I think that's got that. I'm not exactly sure.
He's cut up about the 33.
Yep.
A couple quick score updates. Lakota West scores coming out of halftime. They've cut that lead 28-10. Fairfield scores coming out of halftime.
And we got some flags after the play. A lot of jawing going on.
We'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead with your scores.
We got a touchdown. Fairfield takes the lead 16-13 coming out of halftime. And the St. Xavier Bombers score coming out of halftime. They're tied with the Mason Comets 20-20.
So the world is beginning to become a little bit more reasonable in terms of what we would expect to see.
Closer game between Lakota West and Fairfield and Elder.
So Princeton Vikings were stopped just outside the 30, but a lot of jawing after the game. Both teams, I don't know if we're going to want to get into proverbial personal foul both ways.
Let's see what it is.
Dead ball, personal foul, Colerain Cardinals. Dead ball, personal foul, Princeton Vikings. Offsetting personal foul penalties. First down, Princeton Vikings at their own 30.
And I had got no problem with that, but it puts both teams on notice.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time left in this game, and they were jawing before the game even started, so Three wide receivers split wide to the left. There's the handoff up the middle. Once again to Thomas Boyd. He's got it. Makes a few guys miss. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on that first down run. Right through the middle of the Colerain defense, but not the big run we saw in the first half. I mean, he seemed to run off that right tackle in the first half uncontested. Here on replay, you can see a little bit more noise there in the middle.
Well, he's got good speed for a big man, but it takes him a while to get going.
I got news for you.
But once he gets going, he's tough to stop.
Jalen Thomas is going to be very tired after this game. He is putting on a show tonight, working both ways for these Colerain Cardinals. Snap is back. There's a handoff up the middle once again. Good pursuit by the Colerain defense. Only about 2 yards gained on that play. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
And a good adjustment. The Vikings there were having success around with that pulling guard following them. And LT Johnson kind of forced this play inside of the opponent guard, and the backside did a much better job than in the first half of collapsing down and not letting him get loose.
Yeah, Dante Corleone, Elijah Ford in on that tackle. For the Colerain Cardinals, now 3rd down and 5 for the Princeton Vikings at their own 35-yard line. Stay on sides. There you go. Oh, 40 looked like he jumped a little bit. There's a pass that is incomplete. Intended for a receiver on the far side, in and out of his hands. That's their number one
This is
receiver.
an interesting spot. You're down 3 scores at this point. I know
awful
you're
deep in your own zone.
but you're awful deep in your own end zone.
Yeah, they just went play action here to quick out. But even if he catches that, he's probably 2 yards short of the first down.
But that you might go for it on 4th down then. Cardinals have their defense still on the field playing for the fake.
Snap is back. He's got it. It's a punt, and it is not a great one. Bounces
Get away.
Get away. Basically dies right at the 31-yard line. So the Cardinals will take over up 23-7 at their own 31-yard line against these Princeton Vikings. Again, I want to take a minute and thank all of you who are listening live on wearecolerain.com here, Week 11. This playoffs, Round 1, Colerain Cardinals versus the Princeton Vikings. Had a big announcement at the beginning of the broadcast. Want to kind of echo that here. It was announced today by the Colerain Boosters that the 24th annual Colerain Stag has been set and will return next January the 9th of 2020 at the Kolping Center. And special guest speaker this year, the Hall of Famer, Marty Brenneman. So ticket information will be available in the coming weeks. Check out wearecolerain.com for all of that. Freddie Johnson under center, Deshaun Pace. And as a wingback, once again, kind of doing that stutter stop, trying to get Princeton to jump off sides. Haven't done it this half. Did it 3 times in the first half, twice resulting in first downs for the Cardinals. First down and 10, Deshaun Pace in motion. Freddie Johnson takes it, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, cuts it up center, looking for some holes, found a couple, and he's going to pick up 13 on that first down run.
You know, they don't get talked about up night, but, the huge defensive line at Princeton, kind of the offensive line's taken over right now. It's Beers at tight end, Stegmuller at tackle, Pert at left guard, Aaron Schwenner at center, Carnes at right guard, and Malik at right tackle.
It's Kwasi Jones playing tight end.
It's Kwasi Jones playing tight end too? Okay.
Yeah, Beavers is playing defense.
Understood.
Cardinals feeling that kind of sucking wind defensive line, getting the line quickly.
This is where you start seeing the Colerain offense when they run. As you've told me so many years ago, Brian, it's like Novocaine. It may not take all kinds of effect in the first half, but really starts to show.
Cardinals. They got to the line right away. It still had to call timeout because the play clock was expired.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit though to the off-season conditioning program. Not only the coaches making adjustments here, but our big guys. I'll put their conditioning against our big guys against anybody.
Take this time again. You can reach us in the booth at radio@wearecolerain.com if you're listening live on wearecolerain.com. We got one checking in. Lenny Lopez checking in from Corona, California. I'm sure it's a lot warmer there than it is here.
Well, hopefully Lenny is fire-free. I'm not sure exactly what
we have a score
is,
update, and I know everyone in Kentucky makes the playoffs, but to start the 4th quarter, Dixie Heights leads Ryle 2-0.
Neither one of those teams.
What inning are they in?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're playing a baseball game in Northern Kentucky.
Unfortunately, Ryle has taken a step back after their quarterback that led them to so many wins, Tanner Morgan, who's starting at Minnesota, as I'm sure you know.
How about 2 Cincinnati kids starting in the game tomorrow, the Minnesota?
Yeah, that Minnesota Penn State game. What was the name of the quarterback that went to Wisconsin?
Clifford.
No, Wisconsin.
Oh, Chase Wolf. He's probably not going to be at Wisconsin much longer.
Wouldn't think so. There's a handoff right up the middle. Going to pick up about 7 yards on that play, and we're really beginning to see some big holes opening up now. Deshaun Pace on that carry. Straight handoff from
and nothing fancy. They went wishbone, 2 lead blockers, fullback to extra tailback, and right behind Ace Aaron Swender picks up 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, when your lineman is 9 yards down the field, that's a good play to go. Again, there's a handoff once again. Deshaun Pace has got it. He's going to bowl forward to the 45-yard line of the Viking. Enough for another Colerain first down.
And here's the thing. Colerain's offense this year has struggled at times, and they don't really have – this isn't the traditional identity of this offense. You see what we've seen tonight is, you know what? We don't do one thing really well. So we've seen them throw everything and more tonight. We've seen them run out of wishbone. We've seen them run out of the spread. We've seen them run out of the pistol. We've seen
Wildcat.
2 different quarterbacks. We've seen have 4 speed guys out there, and we go power. So a lot of diversity right now from the offensive Colerain.
Down Thomas in motion. Ball's loose. It's on the ground. I'm not sure if we have it or okay. Well,
Freddie Johnson thought it was. Hamza Abdul-Wahid does not. He's still going. Whistle is.
I'll tell you what. You gotta like it when they're giving him a chance to play, but that went a little too long in the scrum.
Yeah, when 22 came out of the pile,
we get a look on the replay.
But you're right. We see the replay, and Freddie's like, "Oh, I thought I dropped it." Then he turned into a blocker. Then wait a minute, I'm a 160-pound quarterback. I gotta get out of there.
Refused to go down.
But that young man runs with heart.
Hamza. Sorry, we do that every time.
Hamza Abdul.
Hamza Abdul-Wahid.
Man, he couldn't get out of there. The Princeton Vikings linebacker had a Hamza sandwich.
I can't believe it took him this long to get
I know. It's been 2 years and I just thought of that one.
that long.
All right, 2nd down and 7.
Freddie Johnson takes it, runs left, thinks about pitching, keeps it, and he is hit right at the line. Nowhere to run. Good pursuit by number 2.
But look, Vikings. Freddie Johnson got no yards on that play, but he did the smart thing. He knows the pitch man is there. If he pitches it that late, there's a chance for a bad play, that he's strung it out too much. But you know what he does? He just puts his shoulder down and says, you know what, there's nothing there, and I'm not going to pitch it. I'm just going to take the hit and play another down.
I don't know who to give credit to the quote is, but live to make another play.
Right.
One of the coaching in the past. I'm not sure
live
who
to play
said
another down.
High formation, Pace dotting it.
See a speed pitch here to the right. And that's exactly what they do. Deshaun Pace has got it. He just needs a couple of blocks. And unfortunately, somebody got their hand on him. He's going to get down to the 40-yard line, but it's going to be 4th down.
And a good play by the UC recruit there, Jaheim Thomas. Hamza Abdul is it gets a good block on him, but unfortunately for Hamza, Jaheim Thomas is like 6'4", and he's blocked, but he's just going to reach over top of Hamza and really kind of make the tackle here. As you see, Hamza's there in position, but Jaheim Thomas is just out athletes him there over top.
Lawson Sandusky in to kick. Saw before this last series, he came out after that kickoff. Actually, Sandusky was on the training table. So it was a little cold out. Everything stings a little bit more, but he is in the ball game as your punter.
They are coming.
Fake. Pace takes it, and he's going. He's got 1 minute to beat. He's cut over. What a spot for the fake, and the Cardinals get it.
The one time you didn't call it all year is the one they pulled off.
I knew it was coming because we did not hide that well from the sidelines.
Yeah, he takes the short snap, and he does the personal protector. It's Pace again, takes it down to the Princeton Viking 25.
Hey, credit to that Princeton defender who tackled Deshaun Pace.
Yeah, the guy who's back there is your returner.
Right, the returner back there tackled Deshaun Pace in an open field tackle.
And right out of that, you know what? You got a timeout on the field. Reset of the play clock.
Now, we've seen the fake from Colerain in the past, but it's always been something that Sandusky has done. If they kept the ball or thrown it out. It's the first time in a long time that I've seen them really snap it to the short man.
They are emptying the playbook tonight. I'm here to tell you.
And what do you see right out of this fake? They're going to go tank formation, wildcat package.
First down and 10 at the Princeton 25-yard line. Colerain up 23-7.
Oh, we pass out of this one time?
I'd like to see it.
Jalen Thomas steps off to the side.
He's looking to.
Deshaun Pass is looking to pay.
Oh, he's got nothing to play on the right side. Get outside. Oh, it's coming back.
It is not coming back. That is holding. Elijah Ford was about to score a touchdown, and he was held. Sorry if I hit you in the head there. Elijah Ford was held about 20 yards downfield. So they're going to take the result of that penalty. That's a good penalty for the Princeton Vikings because Elijah Ford is uncovered if he's not held.
This is one that I called for early in the year. They're doing that, and you release your tight end. He's an eligible receiver.
If we can get the replay here in Waycross.
But yeah, he gets away from that hold. he's
Elijah
walking
Ford
in.
is uncovered if he's not held, and the Princeton Vikings do a good job. That's a good penalty. I don't know who exactly the number is on. Now, it is an interesting where the spot is. Do the Cardinals take to present the point of or the result of the play, or they take the penalty? I think you take the down here rather than...
Yeah, take the down because the clock's your best friend at this point.
So defensive holding.
It's a 10-yard penalty. Nope.
They're going to take the penalty, and it's going to give him the first down.
A 10-yard penalty from the spot of the
So
foul.
the spot of the foul. So that's what's huge. It's not from the line of scrimmage. It's the spot of the foul.
The holding's on the other side. That's where Pace was looking at Elijah Ford.
So unfortunately, it's going to put the Cards just right inside the 10, meaning they're going to need to score in order to... They're not going to get a reset of the downs on a first down. They're going to need to score. So Deshaun Payson, once again in the Wildcat, takes it, looks to run, follows a few blockers, straight ahead, gets inside the 5. Good push by that Colerain offensive line.
I tell you what, who is that? Is that Aaron Schwender?
I think so, yeah.
One of your captains, Aaron Schwender, watching from center here, 60.
Well, no, 80, is it 85?
Well, 80,
No, it's 60.
65.
It's 60. Watch here in the back.
80
we
and
still take-
65 right there.
There you go.
60 and 65.
60 and 65, isn't that what I said?
You said 80.
60 and 65.
Dante Corleone in.
Take it down to the 4-yard line.
Once again, Deshaun Pace. This is kind of their preference now, at least in the past couple of weeks. 4 yards to go. Deshaun Pace has got it. He's going to tuck and try and get in. The offensive line kind of broke down a little bit. Let's see how far Deshaun got.
Well, he's not going to get no gain. And they kind of have two plays out of that. They have the one play where it's just straight over the middle, where Deshaun takes the handoff almost takes a step forward as he's catching the snap, and he's going to go right away. That one was the one, and it worked for a touchdown last week, where he kind of catches it, waits to determine, kind of takes a step, decides where he's going to go, but there was nowhere to go on that play. So your normal offense comes out for the Cardinals. We'll get to that after this.
Yep. 3rd down and 3. They don't get in here. You think I'm thinking they go for it, don't you think?
Yeah.
Why not, right? I mean, you have the advantage of being at home.
You got to
We have
expect.
less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. You're up 23-7. Freddie Johnson now back. Oh, we've got flags.
Timeout, Cardinals.
Yeah, the play clock was about to run down.
So if
And
this
that was there.
timeout,
They overloaded that
right
side.
now, the world is writing. It was 13-9 at halftime. The Big Blue of Hamilton led the Fairfield Indians, and the Fairfield Indians have exploded in the second half. They now lead Hamilton 30-13.
That's 21 unanswered points.
Quite an explosion.
Wide of offensive outbreak and maybe defensive score. Elsewhere, Mason led 20-7 at one point over the Bombers. The Bombers have 17 unanswered points. They now lead the Commons 27-20. Elder scored another touchdown. They lead Lakota West 35-10.
Yeah, everything is. The world is
And
becoming
this is
red
kind
in
of
the
what
second
you
half.
expected too, because Elder's offense is their strength. They're going to score a lot of points.
But just being one score down, Mason's still in his
Right, but Lakota West is a team that's good defensively, but struggled with a freshman at quarterback offensively, and Elder just got too big ahead. Fairfield has no offensive identity right now without Juthan McClain, but they've seemed to have found it here in the second half, and Hamilton hung close with them in the first meeting in the regular season, hung close for a half, and now Fairfield seems to open it up. And the St. Xavier Bombers' one weakness is their inability to run and defending the pass, and Mason controlled the clock in the first half, but the St. Xavier Bombers offense just too explosive right now in the second.
3rd down and 3. Men in motion and set. Freddie Johnson's got it, runs the other way, takes it around right side, lowers his shoulder. Let's see how
What
quick he
a
got.
call.
He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinals. Freddie Johnson in for 6.
What a call. I mean, Colerain, pre-snap, shift over to overload the left side. Princeton Vikings are all over the place, moving left, move left, move left, move left, and they run a bootleg right. A genius call
And it's
at
not
that
even
moment.
a bootleg. There's no fake to the left. That's just a quarterback sweep. Keeps it himself right down the line of scrimmage. Follows Hamza into the end zone.
Hamza.
For 6 points. Sandusky with the snap. Prather with the hold, with the kick. Snap is back. Hold is down. Kick is good. And with 30 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, it's the Colerain Cardinals 30. Princeton Vikings 7.
Definitely right now 30-7, 1 quarter and a few seconds left to play. Princeton Vikings going to have to open it up. They have no success at all throwing the ball, but they're not going to get back in this game running the ball. They haven't shown that they can break the long one against Colerain. A slow, methodical 10-yard drive like they had the very first drive of the game will not work in this time. So again, thanks everybody from Waycross Community Media, all the guys out here, your camera crew, your guys in your truck. Thank you guys for helping us showcase our student athletes right here. If you like what you see, you even want to create a program of your own. You could get behind the mic, get behind the camera. Remember, it's www.waycross.tv/volunteer or 513-825-2429.
You talk about opening it up, Chris, but right now the Princeton Vikings have more completions to the Colerain Cardinals than they do their own team. Dorian Durham is 0 for 5 with 2 interceptions thrown to Deshaun Pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little surprising, right? Because we thought coming into this game, at least, and certainly based on the statistics of what we saw last week, that Durham was a quarterback who could throw the football. But against a team like Colerain, it does not have a great pass defense. He's just not getting it done.
But you saw how much success they had with Thomas Boyd. They really kind of got away from it. It was kind of getting a pop-up to the opposite side.
And that's their number one receiver, number one, who's got it. He's going to get taken down at the 35-yard line. And the way Princeton's been returning kickoffs and punts, I'll take that.
And it's kind of they had so much success with Thomas Boyd. The Cardinals stopped it once, and the Vikings really didn't have an adjustment after the Cardinals adjusted to stop it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, their passing plays, we've seen one quick little out that was incomplete, but everything else has just been drop back and throw it deep. And the Colerain Cardinals, and mainly Deshaun Pace with his 2 interceptions, the safeties are not letting anybody behind
and
them.
that's the strength of the Cardinal defense, is defending down the field. They give up a lot of plays at about 8 to 15 yards to receivers, but anything short and deep, they've been there to make plays.
The 3 wide receivers. Here's a incomplete pass picked up by the Colerain Cardinals. It was a forward pass. That was number 3, Deshaun Pace, thinking possibly it was a lateral, but it was not. It clearly was a forward pass. Incomplete. You can see it here on replay.
Yeah, that's just a bad pass, and again, another throw that gets away from Dorian Durham. And he had some space. Deshaun Pace was blocked. He had 2 blockers in front of him and space to run, so a big play lost for the Vikings.
Second down and 10 for the Princeton Vikings, trailing 30-7. 21 seconds left here in the third quarter. Snap is back. There's a handoff once again to 7 to Boyd. He's got some room. He's going to lower his shoulder. He's going to pick up 8 on that first down run. Maybe 9. We'll see where they mark it.
7.
Maybe 7
and a half. 3 quarters.
And they will not get another playoff. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. Heading into the fourth quarter, it's the Colerain Cardinals 30, the Princeton Vikings 7.
This is what you like if you're a Colerain Cardinals. Your offenses did their job tonight, set up by the defense, but you're in the fourth quarter. The strength of this team is the 11 guys playing defense, stopping up, and have shown propensity not to give up the big plays. We saw Princeton just kind of get a little 8 yards right there, but that burns up 45 seconds of the clock. You're multiple scores down. You're going to have to find something in the passing game, and that plays directly into what Colerain wants. So
yeah,
you played 3, but you got to finish in 4.
So they need 3 touchdowns with some 2-point conversions in order to
They'd still
get
be
back
short.
in this game.
No, 7, 23.
Yeah.
I mean 23.
If they got 24 points on 3 touchdowns and 2 points, they'd be up 1. But
yeah, I can do math.
That's okay. Point being that, it changes the way the defense plays, right? I mean, if they want to run the ball 4 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards, that's fine. We can do that all night long because the clock's going to continue to run, and eventually they'll get the ball back.
Well, and we've seen Boyd is not the home run hitter. He's not going to get it. I'm surprised. I mean, he's probably really good back there as a personal protector for your quarterback. But
well, it looks like that little scat back's over there in the slot.
Wow, big number 7's in there to run the ball.
No, that little scat back's over in the slot.
Number 30.
He's going to be short of the line again. He needs the 45, and he's going to be marked short. So it'll be 4th down and short for the Vikings.
Thomas Boyd on that carry. He just got stood up at the line, and they are going to be short. And obviously, they're going to go for it, trailing again 30-7.
And
near midfield.
Here's the thing. Here's a chance to catch the Cardinals.
Yeah, you take that chance.
But don't have a pass completion yet. So you need the big play. You could catch the Cardinals committing to stop this short yardage situation with a deep pass, but you haven't connected on a pass all
Durham
night.
in the backfield, 5 seconds left on the play clock. Pops his hands, he's got it. Hands it off, right up the middle. He's going to have enough for the first down as Thomas Boyd. That's Kendall on the tackle.
Yeah, the Cardinals knew what play was on, but that sometimes when the offense executes the play rightly, it doesn't matter. The Cardinals knew what play was coming. They jumped it. But Princeton Vikings just blocked it so well up front. You got a big guy, and they get the 3 yards they need.
He's 230 pounds. I mean, my goodness.
Shades of, was it Trayon Durham that played here for Colerain?
Yeah, he can move, I think, a little bit better than Trayon. Maybe not much, but there's a snap back, handoff to number 21, who gets it on a jet sweep, trying to get around the sideline. He gets out of bounds into Colerain territory, down to the 49-yard line, so 4-yard pickup on that first down jet sweep.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's the first time we've seen it tonight, because usually the jet sweep, they've used that motion to set up the running game, but if he's not a threat to run the ball, you don't have to play him. That's the first time they've actually given him the ball, because when he's come in motion, if you watch, before he's past the quarterback before the ball is snapped, so you know he's not getting the ball. Here we go, shotgun, a little different look.
2 wide receivers to the left, to the right. There's a handoff once again to number 30. He takes it. He's going to run to the outside. He's got plenty of room. He's going to get out of an arm tackle. He's going to get all the way down into Colerain territory, all the way down to the 30-yard line. That was number 30 on that carry. Once again, kind of the scat back for the Princeton Vikings, taking that ball for the first down.
Deshaun Pace is down. Looks like a cramp. He's caught.
And you can tell by that motion, he's just give me that little roller thing. Roll that thing out.
He push down on my toe, stretch it out.
That's what he's doing. He's saying, bend my foot. Just get the cramp out. Deshaun has had a problem with cramps all day.
Well, he's played both sides. He's played a lot of football.
No doubt about it.
As much as Jalen Thomas can do there to help him out, I'd rather see our crack training staff here take care of him. John and Linda are out there helping him out.
Tell you what, there's a big upset brewing. Archibald is leading Coldwater.
That is
And Minster is beating Hannah.
7-8-0. Got it? Come and see me.
Not that anyone cares at this broadcast about Coldwater.
Do we have any other Division II scores from around the area?
Those are Division 3 and 4 we're talking about, but those are perennial powers.
LaSalle was up 42-0 on Little Miami.
Okay.
Harrison was up 17-7 on Canal Westchester. They're up 24-12. St. Francis de Sales trying to pull the upset over Turpin. They lead 14-13.
LaSalle probably has, I'm not going to say have a cakewalk, but
yes, they do.
I fully expect I didn't want to say that.
Up 42-0.
Yeah, I meant the whole region. I mean, I think they're going to walk through the region.
Well, the whole Division II is Massillon, Hoban, and LaSalle.
Yeah.
So first down for the Vikings at the Colerain 27.
Sean Pace walks off the field of his own, but he's going to get some further stretch. There's a pass intended for number 1, who incomplete. The sophomore, number 29, Willis, on Princeton's number 1 wide receiver. Big number 1, Sterling Burkhalter, 6'3", 165.
And the program says that Kenny Willis is 6 foot
He's
tall.
not 6
He's
foot.
not
Who wrote
6
this
foot
program?
tall. But the sophomore didn't start the year as a starter, but he has earned his spot. He had the big booming hit last week against the Indians of Fairfield, and he goes right up there, gets in position, and knocks the pass away.
So clock stops. Cardinals still up 30-7. Second down and 10 at the Colerain 28-yard line. Princeton trying to find some momentum offensively. Drops back to pass to Dory, and there's some pressure right up the middle. L.T. Johnson missed him. He stepped right out of it. He's pursuing. He's going to force him out of bounds after picking up about 3 yards. A lot of running around for 3 yards.
He's going to get 1 yard at that, Chris.
Yeah, was he that close?
Yeah.
Didn't know he got through there like they were setting up a screen, but I didn't see anybody know.
He just wasn't there.
L.T. Johnson just over pursued. And good pocket presence, honestly, by Durham. Just to kind of slide to his right.
He over pursued, but the rest of the defense would normally be there, but they read screen. They were making sure to defend that, and Durham finds enough space, runs a long way for 1 yard.
Sean Pace is in a tremendous amount of pain on that sideline. When you got muscles like his, I imagine those cramps are very painful. Third down and 9. Durham drops back, pressure up the middle. Good blocking, picked up, but forced out of bounds. Kendall comes up and knocks him out. It'll be 4th down and 10.
Yeah, that coverage. Give all credit to them. He goes out there and he gets basically back to the line of scrimmage. He fades back, and he's looking downfield, but there's just nobody.
Well,
even
it's a combination of a good blitz, forced him to roll right away. He couldn't sit in the pocket, and then in scramble mode, nothing's there.
Still have not completed a pass to his own teammates. 4th down and 9. They need to get to the Colerain Cardinals, 17.
Yep, ball to 27-yard line on the scoreboard. So they did either way. It's a 4th and long, down 30-7. They got to try and make something happen. Drops back to Durham. He looks to pass, and there's good pressure. He tosses it across the middle, and it's caught and immediately tackled by the Colerain defenders, and it's going to be a turnover on downs for the Colerain Cardinals.
Princeton finally completes a pass, but they needed 9 yards, and they only got 6.
As Beavers drops back right there, they did a great job. Defense sets up pretty much at the yard to get. They'll allow that underneath, and Beavers is right there to tackle him right away. Allow that completion and keep it all in front of you.
Yep.
Colerain takes over on downs. 10:05 left to play in this 4th quarter.
And what I like, I don't like and that I like, Xander Kendall must have said something, made some sort of motion to the Princeton bench. Cardinals are all excited, but Sean Cutright doesn't care. Head coach is giving it to Xander Kendall, letting him know that you can't make that some sort of mistake. So Cardinals will have a 1st down.
Oh, okay. I didn't think they did throw a flag on that play.
After the play. They will start at their own 11-yard line.
Yeah, there's been some jawing both ways. We've had some calls both ways, but we had the
and Cutright didn't even argue, and the referee kind of made a decision like, yeah, he said something.
Well, and both teams were warned with the each getting a personal foul earlier in this half.
So that's going to take the ball back to the 11-yard line of the Cardinals, where it's 1st down and 10.
Well, that's just more yards for the offense.
Yep, Freddie Johnson under center. There's a handoff to Hamza Abdul Wahid. Takes it up past the 15-yard line. And 2nd down.
Freddie Johnson ran to make sure no one was picking up that fumble. But as this is just 40 talked about it that 1 week against, who was it, Mason? Was it there? There was a 1 week when Hamza came up big, and it was just 46-47 give. That's just the outside, and it's just 3-man lead blocking for Hamza on the outside, and he just follows it there for 6 yards.
That was inside linebacker John Harris on the tackle for Princeton.
Wow, I don't like his spot, though. I only gave him 4.
That's pretty close.
Either way, it's positive yards.
2nd down and 6. Under center, there's a pitch to Jalen Thomas, who goes in motion. He stops his foot, stops his momentum, and unfortunately, that's going to result in a loss of at least 4 yards on the play.
Vikings jumped that. There was more defenders on that side of the field than there was blockers on that toss sweep, and there was Jalen Thomas was pretty much nowhere to go as soon as he caught that pitch.
Yeah, he caught that pitch, and number 11 for the Princeton Vikings was there. That was Jawan Jarrett just waiting for him. Takes him back to the original line of scrimmage. Yeah, that's one you see in films, and you guessed correctly on that point.
Yeah.
We saw it earlier. They ran that play, and they faked that one way and sent Hamza the other way with the toss pitch. But
so 3rd down and 10 now for the Cardinals, deep in their own territory. Need to be careful here. There's a counter back up through the middle. Well defended by the Princeton Vikings. It's going to be way, way short of the 1st down. Going to pick up about 2 yards on that play.
Pick up about 6, Chris. But they needed 10, so.
Yeah. We watched the replay here on Waycross. It's just up the middle, but Princeton Vikings Princeton Vikings are not trying to take him down. They're trying to strip the ball. And look at your offensive lineman trying to strip like Princeton stripping the ball out. He's trying to pull his running back out of the arms of the Princeton Vikings, but it'll bring up a 4th down and Lawson Sandusky.
So 4th down and 6.
8 minutes left to play.
Colerain punter Lawson Sandusky standing at his own 1-yard line. He's got the snap, kicks it. It's a high punt. He's going to have good coverage for the Cardinals. It takes it.
He touched it!
And Horton gets lucky to fall back on top of it.
Good kick by Lawson Sandusky. Princeton should have stayed away from it, but it took a Colerain bounce.
Well, Horton kind of
jumped right off.
Horton kind of looked up to tell everyone else to get away.
Here it is on replay.
Kind of like, hey, everyone else get away, but then it bounced right at his feet and right at him, and he had to react right away, like, oh man, it's right at me, I have to try to catch it, but he wasn't prepared to. It rolls right through his feet, but luckily he's able to kind of awkwardly fall on it as he's getting tackled.
Luckily it bounced far enough away. A lot of times your defender doesn't go for the ball. The first defender, he hits the guy, his opposing team trying to get the ball, but Horton was already 3 yards back already from him.
Yep. So either way, now it's 1st down and 10 all the way back at their own
5 wide
yard
receivers.
Yeah, they're going to an empty backfield. They're looking to pass the ball. Durham drops back. Colerain rushes 3. There's a throw across the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Xavier Kendall. But either way, it falls incomplete, second down.
Well, that was a very interesting play. It's just a shallow cross across the middle. Xavier Kendall went from defender to offensive player, back to defensive player there. As the ball, he has it through his hands, lost it, then the ball right into the receiver's hands. He nearly made the play, and Xavier Kendall had to knock it away a second time.
Does stop the clock with 7:37 left to play.
I expect you're going to see more than likely, you're going to have the scat back there for Princeton. You got 2 wide receivers split to the top and to the bottom. Number 30 in the backfield, drops back. He's in there as a protector. Durham takes it. He's got room to run if he wants, but he throws it deep down the field, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Sean Williamson this time. Couldn't quite pull it in.
But no, he did a good job of. He did a good job. He's not going to get it, but he bats it forward, making sure no one else can get it.
Well, it's all about position, too. He's got inside position, not letting anybody deep of him. Puts his body between himself and the taller receiver, so really kind of screens him right there. And another good individual one-on-one defensive play by Colerain defensive back.
So now 3rd down and 10. 2 incomplete passes. 3 wide receivers split top, 1 to the bottom. Durham looks that way. There's pressure inside, and the Colerain Cardinals have sacked Durham for the first time tonight, all the way back at the 33-yard line.
Dante Corleone and Donovan Owens.
Beavers.
And Beavers on the late blitz. It was Dante Corleone up the middle who pushed him up. Donovan Owens who pushed him to the other side. And Brian Beavers who finishes off the play.
That's a team sack if I'd ever seen one. That's going to bring on the punting crew for the Princeton Vikings.
That's going to be, I think, a half a sack for Beavers and a half a sack for Owens. But you're right, Corleone was the one that right up through the middle.
Well, he pushed it up. He see the snapback. That's a punts away.
Drops to the 45-yard line. Gets a bit of a Princeton. Gets a Princeton roll.
I don't know why.
Colerain territory.
I was
back
talking
to the 37-yard line.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's nice if you get that nice little inconvenient hop that the defense doesn't see, but standing over it like that, so many bad things can happen.
Look, you can say there's certain rules in football that you should follow, and those are true. But special players have special rules,
and should take special buses.
Yes.
Yeah, but now look at Deshaun Pace. Look at him. He's like,
what happens? He picks it up. He picks it up. He gets tackled right away.
And Cutright lets him know as soon as he gets to the sidelines. But you know what?
You know, I applaud him. He's a fantastic player. It takes guts to do what he does. It takes guts to get back there. If you've ever, Chris, I know you've never returned a kick.
No.
I have way back. I think it was 6th grade.
You are lying. I don't believe you.
No, but it is. It takes someone to a little bit off.
Oh wait,
to want to do
that was you then.
Yeah,
okay.
to want to do that. So I give him credit for his enthusiasm, but it's like, just.
Handoff is to the sophomore, MJ Flowers. First time we've called his name tonight. It's going to pick up no gain on that first down play. Good pursuit by the Princeton defense. And with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the game, Colerain really here just wants to kind of, it's a long time, but, a couple of first downs and they can run off this clock.
Yeah, you've got a lot of your two-way players sitting right now, and which is good. With the big lead, they don't need to be up there in offense.
A whole new backfield for the Cardinals. You got Flowers, Bradley, and Shannon Murray in the backfield.
Yep, JV's worked their way into this game. Hopefully they can find a way to still get the first down. Oh, Brady Johnson dropped the ball in the handoff and had to fall on top of it. No turnover, but I think it's going to be a loss of 1 yard, so 3rd down and 10.
And that happens when you get a new fullback that's in a mesh point, and especially when that new fullback stumbles out of his stance, especially when that fullback is a sophomore, even though he's no longer a sophomore.
Well, and especially when that fullback is 4 inches taller than your other fullback, so your handoff point is a little bit higher.
A little different.
But you're absolutely correct. He stumbled out. He basically fell into that handoff. Didn't come out of his stance clean.
So 3rd down and 10. So speed pitch. Backwards, trying to find some room, and there's not going to be any room there. Darian Henry, number 24, in on the tackle. I'm sorry, is that Jaheim Thomas? Jaheim Thomas, my apologies. Jaheim Thomas in on the tackle, a huge loss.
And Jaheim Thomas is still running his mouth.
I'll give you credit.
Some guys like to do that.
Give credit to Jaheim Thomas.
He's played a whale of a game.
He's had a fantastic game, and it's 180 from the last time these two played. Last year when these two teams played, there was a bunch of hype just like there was in this game. Jaheim Thomas and Darian Henry going against Ivan Pace and Deontay Smith-Moore, and he played very poorly against this option offense. He was all sorts of confused. He got caught up multiple times trying to pick and choose who had the ball.
Yep.
And he didn't have a good game. Tonight he has been all over the field, and he's had a very good game. Cardinals have just been better on other parts of the field, but Jaheim Thomas has played a very good game for the Vikings tonight.
And he did the first game too, if I recall.
Yeah.
It was solid.
Couple score updates. Indians have opened it up. Fairfield now leads 37-13 over Hamilton Big Blue. Panthers lead 42-17 over Lakota West. And the Bombers have opened it up over there at St. Xavier. It's now 41-20 St. Xavier over Mason.
Hard to believe Mason led that game, 20-7 at one point? 20-13, I think, at least. So Lawson Sandusky on to punt. Two punt returners back, kind of lined up right next to each other.
Dirty laundry.
Dead ball, offsides of the Cardinals, and the Princeton Vikings kind of did the Joker step at the line. They never crossed the line of scrimmage, so they weren't offsides. But it caused the number 18, was that Bradley or Scales? 18.
So a couple more quick score updates here. Harrison still with that 24-12 lead over Canal Winchester in the fourth quarter, and Turpin's magical season may be coming to an end as they trail St. Francis de Sales out of Columbus 27-13.
Looks like Harrison versus St. Francis de Sales next week. Who will LaSalle's opponent be? Who was the 4-5?
I don't know.
So Sandusky now kicking from about his 12-yard line.
Walnut Ridge leads Xenia.
4th and 22 officially. Sandusky's got it. He gets some pressure on him, but he gets off a good punt. Drives the punt guy back to about the 35. He makes several guys miss. 21's got it. He's trying to get to the edge, and he does. He's going to take it all the way back into Colerain territory. And gets tackled out of bounds, and here comes flags flying.
There's a flag behind the play. There's a lot of contact.
This is where things get ugly. There's 5 minutes left in this game.
But that was kind of interesting. As a running back was, the return man was going out of bounds. The Colerain defender kind of let up, and he gave him a little shot. I like the offensive guy led with the shoulder and made a big pop, but there was something happened behind the play as Coach Daniels gets in the referee huddle.
Yeah, he doesn't like whatever the call is.
He said, "What you talking about, Willis?"
It was Kenny Willis on that sidelines when making the tackle. I know, that's why you made the joke. I get it. Cardinals with substitutions. Jalen Thomas is now done for the night, along with Deshaun Pace.
Let's see where they...
Dead ball. Personal foul against the Vikings.
So that's going to give Colerain 15 more yards on that punt, which is nice because they needed that. It was a good return.
Who's 22 is now in a cornerback. For the Cardinals. Chris, 22. Is that Devontae Kiner, 22?
Yes, you are correct.
He is now in a corner. Sean Williamson is moved back to safety with Jalen Thomas and Deshaun Pace out of the game.
So Colerain again wanting to get their backups in here to give their two-way guys and starters a rest. There's a snap back, a direct snap to number 18, who's going to get tackled in the backfield for a loss.
66.
18 is not a quarterback on my roster.
It was 18 with the carry, was it not?
18.
Okay. Unfortunately, I do not have.
I don't have an 18.
Yep.
So it'll be a 2-yard loss, bring the ball all the way back to the Princeton 46. Second down and 13.
Snap is back. Lynn is the quarterback. He's got it. He throws a nice pass deep down the sideline, and it is...
Intercepted, but it's going to be pass interference on the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah.
There's
no other
jump
reason.
ball. Both
Yeah, you're
guys
right.
are kind of covering them up. But
You're right.
There's no reason he'd throw the flag unless he was calling pass interference.
He called it before the pass got there, so I don't know if that trailing hand had him by the hip or something. He was holding him down. It was just a jump ball.
There's Lynn, you see here on
Both
the
guys
replay.
have rights to the ball, but as we throw it up, some hands on the back right there. Yeah, oh yeah.
That's pass interference, guys. I don't know what. Sometimes I wonder what play you guys are watching.
No, because
I know you guys try to be homers.
We're watching the replay on Waycross,
you
which
weren't
is easy because I have the
convic-
screen.
You weren't convicted about it.
I have the
well, it
screen
must be
18
this.
inches from my face, so it's
Right.
easy. When I watch it live time, they're as far as you can get on this field away
I know
from me,
you're
and I'm
old and
old.
can't see.
I mean, they're 4 miles away. I can't see that.
They're in a
Snap back
different
to
area
Red.
code
Yep,
over there.
there's a handoff to number 21. Cuts it back inside.
Uh-oh.
Trying to find some room. Reverses field. Goes back the other way. Is hit and knocked out of bounds. Sean Williamson cleans it up. The forward progress was stopped inbounds, so the clock will continue to run as we hit 4 minutes left to go in the game with Colerain up 30-7.
Yeah, the replay of the jet sweep. He's coming around to the left side, and there's nothing there. Turns him back, but shows a lot of wheels. Good block by the quarterback. He gets outside, but
You mean the
Colerain
quarterback
defense
that
stayed
stepped
home.
backwards?
You don't have to make the block to make contact as long as you're in the way.
Second and 8. Under 4 minutes to play now for the Vikings.
But barring a miracle, Colerain is going to win their 21st consecutive first-round playoff game in their school history, which is unbelievable. Quarterback keeper takes it right back up the middle, stays on his feet. He's going to try and get the first down, and he's not going to quite get it. Good pursuit by number 23, Brian Beavers, to keep him from picking up that first down.
And this is what the Cardinal defense wants. They don't want to have to put their offense back in the field if they can run out these 3 minutes.
Did you guys get a name for the new quarterback yet?
Last name is Lynn.
Underclassman?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Third down 3.
They're running it out here, and Colerain is going to. It's a final, by the way, at Price Hill, Elder, over the Lakota West Firebirds, 42-7. So Tom Bolden's first season at Lakota West ends in a loss at Elder. The Baden Rams held on to beat Ross 46-14. We were talking about that earlier.
Lynn on keeper, not there.
Yeah, Galen Thomas does a great job turning this in. Doesn't make a play, but takes on the block, turns the big quarterback inside where the rest of the Colerain Cardinal defense is waiting for him. Back to the original line of scrimmage. He's following his blocker on the inside, but has to turn it up into traffic, and there's all the black shirts right there to stop him. Minimal gain. Fourth down.
I think we can say with definity that the Fairfield Indians are going to go on and be victorious over the Hamilton Big Blue 37-13. They lead right now, and of course the St. Xavier Bombers, the number 1 seed in the region, doing what they do in the second half, turning it on. And they lead Mason 41-20.
Mason was just about to score a touchdown and an interception in the end zone for St. X. Pretty much
so the
it.
play clock never started on that one, so you've got to reset it. Start the clock, 2:10 left to play.
I love how you guys are still calling the game. That's great.
Because the game's still going on.
Snap is back. Lynn's got it. Looking to pass. Not a lot of pressure. Throws a dart over the middle. Over the extended hands of his target, number 1, the 6'3" Burkhalter. But that's going to be a turnover on downs. And the Colerain Cardinals, with 1 minute and 57 seconds left, will take the field, and presumably a victory formation coming soon.
Call the play, but don't stop. Just go.
So the Colerain Cardinals at home, hosting the Princeton Vikings after beating them earlier this year. Looks as if, again, barring any fumbleitis or any strange plays, can run out the final 2 minutes of this clock.
And looks like we have a substitution at quarterback. Looks like Spencer Henn is coming to. Oh, nope. Sorry, Tyler Prather. Spencer Henn was the quarterback.
Played 18 years ago.
No, I have some confusion. Spencer's cousin, brother, I don't know, there's so many Hens. Corey Henn just did some plumbing work for me. Good job by Corey Henn, my plumbing work. So I had Henn on the brain there, but Tyler Prather, not Spencer Henn, now in a quarterback.
Takes the ball and hands it off right over the middle. Picked up 2 yards on the play. Colerain with 1 timeout, Princeton with 2. Hopefully Princeton doesn't use those timeouts.
Well, you're down, what is that, 23 points?
Final to Sales over Turpin, 27-13.
So Turpin's season come to an end.
Ooh, Elijah Ford comes in late after the referee's doing a good job not throwing a flag for a late penalty right there.
Under 90 seconds. Sidelines are starting. This is just going to be a knee.
Yeah, not in victory formation. They're in the I formation, but you can knee from any there.
There's the knee.
Yep.
They'll have to snap it and take a knee at least one more time.
So the Colerain Cardinals, victorious here at home against the Princeton Vikings, are going to move on to the second round of the playoffs. And will renew a game that we saw just a week ago against the Fairfield Indians.
Let's just double check, make sure Hamilton didn't do anything crazy.
Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't do anything
And
crazy.
it is a final. Fairfield wins over Hamilton 37-13, setting up the rematch the first time there's been the Fairfield's first playoff win since 2000 and a rematch with the Cardinals.
So that'll be an interesting game next week. Obviously, it'll be at a neutral site. We'll figure out where that is, of course, and we'll post it as soon as we can. I expect it to be at a place like either Mason or Princeton, probably something like that.
Mason, Hamilton, Princeton is most likely the destination next week.
But right here, the Colerain Cardinals, as time runs off the clock, line up at the 50-yard line and run across the field to greet the Princeton Vikings. You know, it's a hard-fought game both ways, but you know what you like to see here? Both teams giving each other fives and appreciating the Warrior mentality.
Yeah, I watched
that they
Deshaun
appreciate
Pace running out there, sans helmet. You know, you normally see the high fives, but it looked like some of the Princeton captains out there first. It was with a very great sportsmanship-like hug.
So the Cardinals continue. They have never lost an opening round playoff game on the field. Coach Sean Cutright gets his first career playoff win as the Colerain Cardinals defeat the Princeton Vikings 30-7. Next week, the Colerain Cardinals will face the Fairfield Indians in the Division I Region 4 semifinal, and our location to be determined.
For Brian and Brandon Wyatt, Mike Rourke, and the WeAreColerain.com and Waycross Community Team, we thank you for watching this presentation of Colerain Cardinal football.